Telemetry lost. Telemetry lost.
Welcome to the National Havoc Robot League's 2025 Open World Championship. It is our final qualifying round of the season, the Last Chance Saloon. These 24 robots are vying for the final 12 qualifying slots for our World Championship in December. I'm gonna send it on over to my good friend Kyle Gross to take a look at this 3-pound bracket.
Thank you so much, Sam. This is going to be an amazing event. We've got a 3-pound bracket already filled out and ready to go. Today, we're going to see actual size take on Project Liftoff, the returning Melty Brain Golden Dumpster winner. That is going to be an amazing fight. And then we have Overhead Attack Bot versus Overhead Attack Bot, Mako versus Usagi. I think if we're putting our money on somewhere, it's Overhead Attack Bots winning that 3-pound division. We're going to throw it up to you, Richard, in the primetime pits.
Oh, thank you, my friend. You know how much I love the primetime pits. There's no place like it, and it is no exception. For this one, we are buzzing about what weight class? The 12-pounders. We've got Bagheera, Promethea, Steggy, and then, of course, the matchup that everybody is talking about, the clash of Team Honeycracked. So we're going to count down the minutes until we get to see that one, but really the whole 12-pound bracket is stacked. But before we get to the 12-pounders, there's still one more weight class. Kyle, tell us about the 30-pounders.
Oh, thank you so much, Richard. So we have got quite a 30-pound bracket. It's going to be banger after banger after banger. Up at the top of the bracket, we've got Kazaa Lite going up against Spartan 30. We've got Maccabot taking on the Terminator. We've got Jubileu taking on the winning ticket, and down there at the bottom of the bracket, we've got Banguela ZS versus Kabooey Tango. Very excited about that. They are all going to be amazing fights. All right, we're going to go to you in the booth, my friends.
Okay, all eyes are on cage 1 right here where we've got Kazaa Lite and Spartan 30, and there's just one thing left to do. Lock it and rock it.
Fantastic. I love to hear those words. We are going to be bringing you all the action, all the play-by-play action you can possibly want. Keep you in the know here in the play-by-play room. I'm Ricky Willems.
I'm Julian Papazian.
And we are going to get right into this fight, not waste any time at all. Let's get some big robot action right now. You can see them loading up both halves of the Kazaa Lite multi-bot going up against the absolutely terrifying Spartan 30, one of the nastiest blades in the weight class.
Not only nasty blades, but look at that freshly machined armor in the frame on that beautiful robot.
Yeah, this robot is fresh, it is ready, it is primed and preened, just eager to tear apart its opponents.
Strutting our best stuff for primetime. Every robot in the cage so far.
Listen, like Sam said earlier, this is the Last Chance Saloon. These robots want to put their best foot forward. So many robots today have not made it to the World Championships in December. They want to do that. This is their last chance to qualify. Excuse me. Kazaa Lite, however, is going to be a tough opponent for Spartan 30 to get through. They are nigh on invulnerable, it seems, in terms of knockouts. Sometimes they lose a judge's decision, but they are sturdy machines.
Absolute tanks in the 30-pound bracket, and there's 2 of them. Even if you manage to disable one, knock a wheel off, you got a lot to worry about. You got two Kazaa Lites in front of you.
Especially with a horizontal spinner like Spartan 30, Kazaa Lite is a nightmare to try and defeat.
Those front forks, those front wedges, I wouldn't want to try to get through those, even with a bot like Spartan.
Now, unfortunately, Kazaa Lite is not going to be allowed to run its flamethrowers today, so they are using hot lances. These are glowing at 1,500, 1,800 degrees, and they can pierce down and try and attack the electronics of Spartan 30, the wheels, any exposed
5,
plastic.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Away we go. Fast start from Kazaa Lite and a good spin up from Spartan 30.
As fast of a box rush as you could ask for is Kazaa Lite.
Oh, look, a little smoke coming out of the bottom of Spartan 30. It's hard to get damage with those hot lance pokers, but it is possible, and that is a plastic cover plate on the back of Spartan 30. Oh!
Shrugs off Spartan back into the cage. Get off me.
Spartan 30 has spun down. That weapon is there at its back. Wow!
There's a fork off Kazaa. One of them.
One of the forks just obliterated. The other one bent at a 90-degree angle, at least a 45.
I don't think that half of the bot's winning the ground game anytime soon. Although I've been proven wrong before.
Wow! Folks, these are huge hits from Spartan 30. That is a powerful weapon. No forks left on one half. A good side hit. Oh, that is a bold move. Look at them. That hot lance is poking up into the spinning weapon.
It's almost like a mini soldering iron, but if you're on top of Kazaa, all it's got to do is press a lever and, you know, put a very potentially dangerous heating implement right into your electronics.
It does seem that one half of Kazaa Lite's weapon is taken out at this point. I see some glowing wires, or I see a glowing plug on one, but the wires are torn off of the other.
We've seen some Infernos today. I'm seeing a little bit of an Ember right now.
We'll see. All it takes is a little plastic for that Ember to go from a tiny light to a very, very big fire.
A tiny light to a Kazaa Lite, if you will.
Oh, you. Just coming up on the halfway point of this fight. Wow, another big hit.
Massive clashes with the, oh!
Now, if I'm Spartan 30, I would be trying to concentrate on the undamaged half of Kazaa Lite to make that damage a little more equal between sides.
Try to rack up as much damage as you can while you can.
Exactly. Now
while you're free from pins.
Oh, that is a crunchy sounding motor on Spartan 30. I think they've absorbed some damage from their opponent. I think that weapon blade might be a little cockeyed as well.
Throwing a horizontal into the wedge, things get jostled very easily. Crowd excitedly counting these pins.
Yeah, no weapon movement at all as we come down in the last 20 seconds of this fight.
Kazaa Lite, the #1 seed, proving why right here. As terrifying as Spartan 30 is, a bot like Kazaa can make them look ineffectual against really strong defense.
Yep. That is going to go to the judges. You can see both halves of Kazaa Lite moving just fine. Spartan moving, but the weapon is down. Clearly from a damage perspective, this is going to go Kazaa Lite's way, although not by a huge margin. The question is, how about the rest of this? Let's take a look at the fight, see if we can get any answers for control and aggression. That's some good control right there.
It's some good control, but you gotta try to weigh it against the aggression of weapon, and it's hard to count how Kazaa was really using the heating implements on the levers.
Yeah, we did not see what I would call an effectual effort to get those heating elements into play. Certainly they did a lot of pinning. Certainly they waved a lot of mechanical arms.
A lot of pinning. Spartan 30 was disabled in a way for most of that fight. It's just a matter of how the judges rack up that damage, I think.
Well, we will have to wait and see. In the meantime, we're going to queue up another fight, but I think both drivers pretty pleased. Josh looking a little concerned right now. He's unsure how that fight went for him.
I'd be concerned too.
Both teams very polite, congratulatory. We're going to go upstairs, get the skinny on another fight coming up soon.
That's right. We are in the mood of the 30-pounders, and I'm here with Alex of Kabooey Tango. They take on Banguela. I mean, overall, what adjustments have you made? How'd the bot make it through the prelims and the KO?
Well, this is our first fight today because every one of our opponents forfeit. So we hope that either the curse continues or that maybe we win this fight. We fought Team Warrior 4 times now. We fought Jubileu, we fought Quayo. There are rivals, so it's going to be a good fight either way. But we hope our curse continues of our opponents blowing up before the fight.
Yeah, I'd say a run of bad good luck for sure, but I'm sure that on the eve of each fight you probably made a few minor adjustments. What have you made going into this one, hoping that it actually happens?
Yeah. A lot of it has just been dialing the robot in, before every fight. Even though our opponents forfeit, we do a test run in the test box, make sure everything works, and then bring it back and zip everything up. So we have now prepped this robot 4 times, gone through every single connector, every single bolt head. We know that it's good to go. We're just hoping that it holds up for the next 3 minutes.
He's made a list. He's checked it twice. He's ready for, hopefully, their first actual fight. Thank you so much. We're going to send it back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much. I am going to cue us up, ladies and gentlemen. We have got another 30-pound action fight coming right at you. We're going to have Maccabot taking on from Gator Robotics down there in Florida, the Terminator. Very excited for this matchup. They are loading into the arena right now. And this is going to be 2 very destructive vertical spinning bots. 2 bots that have weapons that are very different, but very powerful. The Gator is long, it's mean, that drum is heavy, and it's extremely well driven. But Maccabot putting on a clinic all day. Cannot wait to see that. There is some of our audience members standing by for this sure to be explosive fight. Hello, everybody in the audience. How you doing over there? All right, on the left-hand side, you can see Maccabot being driven by being driven by Max Renus. And then Terminator right there, the little green guy being driven by Silver from Gator Robotics out of Melbourne, Florida. Very cool design. We've got a combined knockout record of 7-3, and judges are not kind to these robots. Let's hope this is a devastating knockout. All right, to call this action, we're gonna go to the play-by-play booth where we have Dima and Ricky standing by. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. I am excited for this fight. Terminator is such a heavy hitter and can really do some damage when it's dialed in, but it tends to be a little hot and cold. Maccabot has been on fire all day.
Maccabot's been on fire all day, but you say hot and cold. Let's see if this might be their cold moment.
It could be. You can't count on anything, especially in the big bot arena. That is a nasty weapon, but could just as easily break itself.
There's 2 really nasty weapons here, and I'm curious to see how the weapon-to-weapon engages are going to go. We have something taller versus something wider, but
5,
my goodness, both are very
4,
threatening.
3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Very slow start from Maccabot.
Terminator kind of skirting under Maccabot's gyro.
Excellent driving from Terminator. Until it's not upside down, they're going to try to self-right themselves.
Trying to self-right by going up against the wall. Took a moment, but they got there.
Now Maccabot up against the corner.
Now your turn on the wall.
Turnaround is fair play. Interesting, they called for an unstick. Terminator said no need. Oh, what a moment!
Huge hits over and over. Oh.
And now the weapon is not moving. It is doing the thing. Ladies, gentlemen, every kind of robot fan. Knockout after that first unstick was taken. That was all she wrote.
Very lethal when you do the thing without an unstick present.
Terminator taking home a relatively easy win, a quick knockout.
they're going to have to go right back up into the primetime pits to see any repairs they might have to make because they still got more fights to go.
They did take a couple of hard hits there. In the meantime, let's go over to Kyle. I believe he's got a judge's decision for us.
Oh yeah, coming right up. We have a judge's decision for our for our Kazaa Lite versus Spartan fight. And our winner by unanimous judge's decision, Kazaa Lite bringing it home. So congratulations to Joshua Reinhardt. That is a fantastic showing for them. Unanimous decision across the board. Nice point spread as well. Well deserved. So they will be moving on. And Johnny with Spartan 30, first time out with that bot, did a great job, but it was not able to make the cut. So yeah, they are moving on, and I'm very excited to see who they face next in the bracket. We have more 30-pound action coming your way, and I'm sure loading into the cage right now. So we're going to go to Sam, who has a report for us cage side. Sam, where you at?
Certainly do, Kyle. I'm here with Brooks Silber, who just knocked out Maccabot. And Brooks, have you ever made another robot do the thing before?
I absolutely have. I remember one fight back in Florida, there was this wedge. Two sides were flat, knocked it up. It was like landing on a coin head. The flat side landed down. They were just stuck. So that was good. This was even better. It was way more violent.
Well, I hope you get more things in the future for your opponents. Thank you so much, Brooks.
Yeah, totally.
All right, back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam. So our next fight is loading into the arena right now. From Brazil, we have Jubileu. They will be going up against Winning Ticket from Las Vegas, Nevada. Very excited for this matchup. Two incredibly well-driven bots. Let's go to the cage right now and check out that action as they load in. Brazilian team, always exciting to watch. This is a hard-hitting horizontal spinner, a very old design that this team has run for a long time. This is Team Warrior. They are an educational-based team out of Brazil with a very storied history in those competitions. This is going to be Nicolas de Freitas Cunha running this one. And then over on the other side, we have Jeff Waters and Winning Ticket. To call this action, we are going to go to Dima and Ricky in the play-by-play booth.
Thank you so much, guys. This is going to be a fun one. Every time the Brazilian friends are in the box, we're in for a good show. Doubly so for Jeff Waters coming out of Vegas with Winning Ticket. This is, I believe, yes, this is the first time we're seeing that here at NHRL. Of course, this is a build style that he has practiced before, so it's not his first time building a robot by any means, but going up against these Brazilian teams is really tough.
Absolutely. We see a lot of really creative designs here at NHRL, but the Brazilian teams are sort of locked in on the fundamentals of combat robotics and the engineering that goes into it. You see a lot of the robots are very compact, very strong weapons, and they have drive styles that signal, I'm trying to win and I'm trying to do it as fast as possible. Jeff Waters, he's a competitor too, and he's got a similar attitude, but we'll see how far he gets with his sort of downscaled heavyweight version of his other robot, Jackpot, or the robot that he works on. But this Winning Ticket is sort of his baby, and I'm really excited to see it in the cage once more.
I've been really excited to see Jeff here this entire event. He's really brought a good energy. I know he really wants to do well here and compete. So I'm really eager to see this fight. And you look at the wedge on the front of Winning Ticket going up against Jubileu. The Jubileu could end up going flying this entire fight.
5,
Anything could happen, Ricky.
3, 2, 1. Fight.
Away
Robots fight.
we go.
Jubileu sort of pops up a little bit as it comes into contact with the wedge on Winning Ticket.
Very careful driving from Winning Ticket.
I'd say both robots are being very careful right now, but Jubileu's in a defense position to have to do so.
Oh, ho, ho. Winning Ticket upside down, trying to self-right. Their self-righter is not installed right now.
Unstick is called for. Successful. Weapon-on-weapon engages. No clear winner on those yet. But Jubileu's getting knocked further flying for sure.
Oh, and a belt has gone missing. I believe Winning Ticket has multiple belts. Yes, they do. So they're not out of the game. Consider that an extra life burned, though.
Absolutely, that's how I'd phrase it.
Very cautious driving from Winning Ticket. One bad move and it's all over. Look at the damage on that front plow.
There's very little room for mistakes in driving in the 30-pound bracket. Like you said, one hit and it's all over. Looks like they're trying to fight each other into the corner, but they move back out into the open arena in the big 30-pound.
Oh, drive has gone funky on the right side of Winning Ticket. It is still moving.
Funky indeed. Not totally crab walking.
No, but the weapon is down as well.
It's not looking good for Jeff.
Yeah, he is on the ropes, to say the least. Oh, amazing hit.
He can still use that wedge, drive it into Jubileu's weapon, and try to get something on them down.
Dima, look at the wedge, though. It is curling forward.
Doesn't matter. A minute left. You got to use it, even if it's damaged. It's only going to get more damage no matter what, so try to jam it into their weapon.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do at this point, and that is some incredible driving.
To be able to do that while crab walking is difficult. It speaks to Jeff's driving prowess. But you got to play to your outs.
You do, and this is really his only out at this point.
No weapon, half drive, make something happen.
I don't know how many more hits that front plow can take, though, Dima. It's close.
You can hear.
Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
The weapon of Jubileu has been encapsulated by the back of Winning Ticket.
5 seconds left. And that's how that fight ends, with a bang for sure. Crowd seems super amped up for 30s today. We hear some creative chants at NHRL, but there's something special about a chant that just says kill.
Yeah, and what I love about NHRL is that you can chant kill, kill, kill with a smile on your face and love in your heart. And not a lot of places you can say that.
And nobody's really, for real, going to get hurt at the end of this.
No. We're going to go right into the replays. The hits that Winning Ticket took over and over and over again. Really impressive. You can see the second belt there going in that exchange. Then more hits, and that front plow curving forward like a credit card sitting in a hot car too long on a summer's day. I am so impressed with the durability of this robot, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think this is how Jeff Waters wanted his ticket punched today.
I don't think so either, but I guess we're going to throw it up to Richard upstairs in the primetime pits.
That's right, guys. We are here. We are moving along into the tournament. The 30-pounders, Kazaa Lite. Judges' decision just found out who their opponent will be, which is Terminator, who won by knockout. When I spoke to them as they work frantically on their bot, they said they're, in a word, afraid. They're always afraid before a big fight. Doesn't matter the opponent. You never know what can happen. As for the adjustments that they're making, they're switching to a thinner frame after losing their forks. So these guys are going to work away, get ready for Terminator. Judge's decision versus a knockout. I'm excited for it, so we're going to go ahead and send it back to Kyle.
Thank you so very much, Richard. We've got more 30-pound action coming your way as we finish out this portion of the 30-pound bracket. We've got judges' decisions coming your way as well. But in that next round, we're going to see Banguela ZS taking on Kabooey Tango. Very excited for the return of Kabooey Tango. They were supposed to be here in June. They lost their bot in the mail, I am not kidding, for 3 months before this tournament. And they got it back randomly in the mail just a few weeks ago. They were able to get it out, get it working, and get us moving. It was absolutely fantastic. But right now, we've got plenty of people in our audience today. They are here. They're excited about the bots that are loading into the box. Look at all of these people ready for the prime time action here at the National Havoc Robot League. Standing room only all the way around us. I am very excited. I know they are too. We're all anxious for this next fight. Big shout out to my mom and dad. They're in the audience today too, by the way. We are so excited for this next bracket round. It's one of the 2 Brazilian robots that are in this 30-pound weight class. They are loading in right now. There you see Alex Crease. He's the captain of Kabooey Tango. He's also the original designer of this robot, and it's a beautiful robot. Undercutter spinner. Mean-looking machine, 4-wheel drive, huge armor plate on the front, and like comic book aesthetics. Over on the other side, we have Leonardo Monteiro Labeglini, and he is from Montevideo, Brazil. 2-0 record here today, part of Team Warrior, 20-year-old college team, one of the most storied teams out of Brazil. And this bot hits hard. We are ready to call this action from the prime time pits. So Dima Papazian, Ricky, let's call these fights.
Thank you, Kyle. Really excited to see these. Like you said, Kabooey Tango has been lost at sea, in a way, for the past 3 months, and it's a weird way for a robot to be on pause or on hiatus. I'm really excited to see it in prime time.
Yeah, I have been wanting to see a good Kabooey Tango fight for many events at this point, and they are going to have their work cut out for them in this fight. Banguela ZS is a really formidable opponent. So many of these Brazilian competitors have distilled just an extreme level of competence and community knowledge into their robots, and everything about this robot screams Brazilian robot design.
Oh, absolutely. The compactness, the power and the simplicity of the weapon design, the dialed-in drive, and the style of the driver aggression too, not just the robot themselves, but this is a Brazil bot through and through, and this has been a Brazil tournament through and through in a way, with how many bots have shown up and how many bots have really strutted their stuff and demolished some of our American colleagues.
You know, we Americans can claim one thing. I don't know that they would have this smiley face on the front of that robot if they weren't competing here at NHRL.
That's true. That's true. We do have a sort of infectious style here at NHRL. It's hard to compete here and not want to make your bot as much yours as possible.
Yep, and the desire to anthropomorphize these robots is just so hard to resist.
From the googly eyes to, my robot's little beady black eyes, and some people have very involved anthropomorphic designs, like positively hysterical. You see that sort of get infectious even on these very fundamental robots. They got smiley faces, they got decorations for Halloween. You see the little ghosts in the bats.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots,
Away
fight.
we go. A good spin up from both robots. Ooh, a good striking on the side of Banguela.
Banguela doing a great job of keeping that wedge in front of Kabooey Tango. But Kabooey Tango gets under you, that wedge is going to cut up your underside, and there's no wedge to protect you.
Absolutely not. That is a fierce undercutter, but Banguela's weapon, when it connects, boy, does it pop you up in the air. So far, though, those forks are really dominating the ground game, and Kabooey Tango has Banguela where they want him.
Kabooey Tango is certainly winning this fight from the ground. Getting under Banguela it's not a small feat. This is a wonderful pin, but also when they release it, they're in a great position still. Banguela having a hard time staying square. Everything looks fully functional so far, but the butts.
Oh, that spoke too soon. Banguela is really struggling to move. The left side is spinning, the right is not.
The right
almost at all.
Totally locked up. And yeah, my bad. Commentator's curse, they call it.
You see that stutter, that kind of scream, stripped out gearbox. Or perhaps a pulley with no teeth left on it.
The wedge itself looking bent up too. I'm not sure the ground game is winnable for them anymore, even if they manage to get self-righted.
Yeah, a one-wheel drive and a bent wedge is a terrible place to be for a two-wheel drive robot. Kabooey Tango just seizing the day.
It's not over till it's over, though, Ricky. You're gonna fight until the bell has tolled.
Carnage Banguela. Oh, the smoke is back.
That's no good.
That looks like motor controller smoke to me.
Que cosa malo.
Yeah, that is either motor or motor. I think motor controller smoke.
I'd bet I'd put money on controller.
The battery has not gone up, and so the robot is still functional, but just barely.
Kabooey Tango doesn't look like it's taken very much damage at all.
No, that is a sturdy built machine. They wanted a fight. They wanted to win. That's going to be their moment to do so. After sailing through an entire day of forfeited opponents, they hadn't put this robot to the test. Now that they get the chance, they prove Kabooey Tango is more than just hype. It can deliver.
After 2 years of not seeing a fight from the classic Kabooey Tango, we get to see it in action again, and it delivers.
Excellent. Truly excellent.
I just love this robot. Let's go to the replay.
You can see Kabooey Tango just chewing up the bottom of Banguela. Banguela then erupting into smoke as the motor controller on its weapon grinds to a halt. All that damage on the front just added up, overheated the electronics, and they burst into flames internally.
Alex Kreese, but at this point, absolutely a veteran of the sport, but never get desensitized to victory like that.
We're going to go to a judge's decision with Kyle. Kyle, what can you tell us?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally in the judge's decision between Jubileu and Winning Ticket. Who gets to move on in this bracket and get a chance at the World Championship at the end of the year? Your winner, Jubileu, coming in from Brazil. Congratulations, you got your ticket. You are ready to go into the next round. You're going to have to face off against the winner of that last matchup. That's going to be absolutely intense. So thank you guys so much. Our judges work very hard in very late hours at this event, and they get us very accurate decisions, and we very much so appreciate that. That is an insane 30-pound bracket. And we are now going to be moving on to that next big bracket, the most competitive bracket in the entire world. Sam, take it away.
All right, those 30s were so gnarly, and we are about to shrink it down to the brutal 3-pounders. And let's take a look at this bracket where we have Sir Sicey versus the Wall up top. Sir Sicey with a beater bar, the Wall, a hammer saw. Up next, Actual Size versus Project Liftoff. In this one, we have a Big Wheel Bot versus a Melty Brain. Mako versus Usagi, a battle of the overhead attack robots. And down at the bottom, Mag and Blunder, a classic horizontal versus vertical matchup. Kyle, can you go ahead and take this away?
All right, we've got a new battle coming your way in the 3-pound division. That's right, it's Sir Sicey. Weird vertical spinner, cantilevered blades, amazingly well driven. So excited to see this bot from Evan Bimji. And then over there on the other side, we've got the Wall, not part 1, no, the improved part 2 overhead attack bot. Vicious saw, huge armored plate on the front. It is in fact a wall that cannot be penetrated. They are loaded into cage 2, and to call this action, we're gonna go to Dima and Ricky in the cage.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in the cage right now, but we are in the play-by-play booth, and we will be calling this fight for you. I've enjoyed watching the wall all day, Dina.
Me too. I never get bored of hammer saws, but this one in particular, the tank front that's hard to get past. The wall.
1. Fight, robots.
We're going to have their work cut out for him against Sir Slicey. Sir Slicey has been slicing and dicing all day long. And the driving has just been so on point.
The wall is trying to be as aggressive as they can and not give Sir Slicey an inch to just keep popping them up and juggling them, comboing them, like Sir Slicey's been doing all day to their opponents.
Yeah, it's incredible driving from Evan Bimji. Really, really dialed in. He's done so well in terms of controlling the pace of fights and keeping his opponents on the rails.
I've gotten to see Evan grow in competition just as much as I have. I think he's been doing it basically as long as I've been doing the sport. But he's had a sort of younger, more plastic brain than I have, and he's improved so much.
There's a lot of plastic in the arena right now, and a lot of it's getting sliced and diced. The wall practically doing backflips as it tries to attack its opponent.
The wall is very quick with that arm, using it for positioning. Trying to get that one pin that could lead to a kill shot. But Sir Slicey's top armor looks very competent. Is that titanium?
It does appear to be titanium, yes. And even then, the positioning of the arm on the wall part 2, not great for hitting the top of Sir Slicey while avoiding that massive weapon on the front.
Sir Slicey's just chaotic enough that Ben with the wall might have a chance to get a hit to its underside, but you need some luck to get to that point. But here that luck might be.
So far, we've seen tides really turn. Sir Slicey had a bunch of good hits, but has really struggled to get to the side of the wall.
And here it comes. The Sir Slicey's inverted and staying inverted. There we go. Using the wall to self-right. Classic trick of many avert. The wall not even spinning up. This is not a kill shot. You don't want to send a hammer saw into avert like that.
This would be suicide, friends. Suicide Friends would be another good band name, David.
God, Ricky. You're like 3 to my 1. Come on, give me a chance.
There's a good flip, but Sir Slicey needs to capitalize more, chain these hits. Instead, that's a good hit.
And here's that control, too. Here's how the wall can still win.
Coming down on the... Wow, what an embedded moment.
Stuck in the ground, but not for long. This is some frantic action for a hammer saw. Make something happen. That's all you can try to do in these last 15 seconds of a fight.
We're down to the last 10. This will be going to the judges. I'm starting to see some damage rack up on the wall, part 2.
Yep, not sitting flush with the floor any longer.
Something strange has happened to that robot. Something strange and violent.
Evan's dad giving him a well-deserved pat on the back for that performance.
Yeah, Evan does deserve a pat on the back for that. That was pretty excellent driving. It's hard to go up against an opponent like the wall. And they did their darndest.
Darndest indeed.
We're going to jump up. I believe Richard has got some news for us upstairs in the pits.
Well, really more of a preview because I've got Evan with Blunder. Man, Chainsaw Kitty, talk about a draw for the tournament. But overall, you said that you had just kind of rebuilt your robot from the ground up a few times. So, what's it look like going into this one?
Well, the beater that I have, I only have one. I have no spares. And we have broken it 3 times, and it's been welded back together twice. But we can't do that anymore, so we're running a broken beater for this match. We'll see what we can get. Who knows what'll happen.
You guys have been so impressive this tournament. I mean, very decisive fights. So overall, how have you felt about your performance throughout?
It's validating, honestly. I spent a lot of time on this robot. I've been to a lot of events where I haven't performed as much as I would like to. So this has been a really nice change, and I'm finally feeling the rewards that I wish I had seen maybe a couple months ago.
Hey, reap those rewards. Enjoy it. Best of luck. All right, we're going to send it down to Sam.
Yes, thank you. I'm with Ben and the wall part 2. Ben, that was a tough one. Do you shift up your approach when the match starts swinging the other direction?
No, I just keep trying to square it up, keep going straight head on, go to the sides if I can. Just keep trying, looking for a pin to get a kill shot.
And how do you think that JD is going to go?
It's rough damage-wise. I thought I did pretty well controlling the match, but I had some issues with aggression, just trying to get a good shot, and Robot's looking a little bit worse than it started as.
All right, well, here's hoping it goes your way. Kyle, let's head over to you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Very much so appreciated. While we wait for a judge's decision on that one, we have Actual Size and Project Liftoff loading in. This is Max Morningstar and his big wheeled robot, Actual Size. Beautifully driven. Max is a veteran competitor here, but going on the other side, you've got Andrew and Jim Casmer, and they've got the Project Liftoff. This is a golden dumpster winning melty brain robot. It hits like a ton of bricks, and it is a nightmare for a bot like Actual Size. To call this action, we're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth. Ricky Willems, Julian Papazian, take it away.
I am excited for this fight. Thank you so much, Kyle. Actual Size, such a fun robot, and Project Liftoff, always terrifying.
For those just tuning in, Project Liftoff has a sort of iconic screech when it spins up, and it does spin up its whole body, and you can see those blades close up right now. It's really trying to spin its whole body and just run into you as gently or as quickly as it feels like. Max Morningstar, and that is his name, is no slouch with Actual Size, though, and he's made it this far in a room full of big wheels.
Well, I hear the crowd calming, so what that means is we're just about to start this fight.
We've seen a lot of big wheels today, but we haven't seen any with the Actual Size sort of angled style of wheels.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the hope is for Project Liftoff to just sort of go under it, and for the underside of Actual Size to be wide enough that Actual Size can just drive over it without fear of its wheels being damaged by Project Liftoff spinning.
well, it's going to be really interesting, right? Because when you cant the wheels like
5,
that, you have an advantage in one direction and disadvantage in the other.
2, 1. Fight.
Away
Robots
we
fight.
go. Whoa, big hit. Another big hit. This is going to be a lot of big hits until one of these robots fails catastrophically.
I think,
Wow.
something's going to crack in half. Pieces coming off.
Yeah, that is one of the wheelie bars from the back of Actual Size. Halfway gone.
The wheel's starting to be chunked too.
Oh!
Doing the thing.
Doing the thing. That's a beautiful moment. The weapon is down on Actual Size. But Project Liftoff has to use its unstick. If they can get stuck in this... Wow, that is a bold move as a big wheel robot to go after the house bot.
It was really cute seeing the angry face just like square up with Brett.
Look
saying,
at
"Come
that! Just dancing around.
on." That's what I think they maybe were going for. They're kind of just going over Project Liftoff, but Actual Size has no weapon and 2 minutes to survive against Project Liftoff, which is threatening all day.
This is tough, too, because both drive sides on Actual Size are running, but one of them is getting continuously hooked in its own wheelie bar.
It's not where you want to be as a big wheel.
No, and it's impossible now for Actual Size to show much... well, it can show aggression. This is actually one of the best times I've seen a weaponless big wheel show aggression very clearly. It's standing on top, and that means if that weapon was working, it would be doing damage. So it's a pretty good show of aggression, but will it be enough to offset the massive damage that we've seen? Only time will tell.
Not including today's tournament, Project Liftoff came into this NHRL event with a 41-30 record. Which means that's a lot of slobber knocker fights to have under your belt and a lot of iteration to be made.
Look at Actual Size getting lower and lower and lower as these wheels stop being wheels. It's incredible.
Getting low, etc.
Listen, this robot is going to be hella flush by the end of this fight. Sick camber, bro.
Getting flush like Balatro here.
And
Project Liftoff doesn't even look phased.
No, it's a fresh robot. It is new, crisp, and clean. Hey, that is a very lucky bit of weapon to weapon. Wow!
Still send it flying by just running your chassis, what's left of it, into Project Liftoff.
Actual size, this is showing off a phenomenal build quality.
Yeah, I don't know many bots today that could do this sort of fight with Project Liftoff and make it to judge's decision, which it looks like Max is going to do.
Yeah, this will be going to the judges. I think it's unfortunate for actual size, but it's also so impressive.
And now we're both going to spin. That was for qualification for the World Finals. So I'm sure Max might be disappointed if actual size doesn't make it to the World Finals in December. But he's still got a smile on his face, and look at how he's dressed. He's a real fun haver.
Absolutely. We're gonna jump into the replays here, see what happened all over again. Fast spin up from Project Liftoff. A good first hit. Oh, another view of it. Let's see if we can see that first impact. Wow, that is a fast spin up.
You can see the circles that it makes in the replay. Project Liftoff has been doing that to the arena all day, and I don't think they're going to stop.
No, why stop now? And then from that point on, although it was ineffective in terms of damage, we have to give so much credit to Max. That ability to just loom over your opponent, avoid any damage, and show your intent to damage, that is the absolute best he could have done with this fight.
That's the game plan, and he did execute it, but Project Liftoff was ready in their own way. The Casmers are a force to be reckoned with. They're proving it today.
Oh, I'm hearing we have a JD ready. That means we're going to head over to Kyle.
That's right. So that last matchup before this one was Sir Slicey versus The Wall Part 2. And that's right, your winner, Evan Bimji, Sir Slicey, unanimous judges' decision. That, it had to be a hard one for those judges. That was a really close matchup. But the driving and control by Evan Bimji put him over the edge, got him the win, and he is moving on in the bracket. He will face the winner of Actual Size or Project Liftoff. All right. Next, we're going to go down to the pits with Sam with the Milkman, Max Morningstar.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. I am here with Max Morningstar and Actual Size. And Max, we've been watching big wheel bots get bodied by horizontals all day, so props for staying in one piece. But did that change your approach to this match?
Not really. I mean, there's no good place to hit a bot like Project Liftoff, so you really just have to go in with no fear, and I think that's how I drove today.
Well, thank you so much, and congrats for making it this far. Good run.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to send it back to Kyle.
Thank you, Sam. We've got more 3-pound action coming your way. Overhead attack bot versus overhead attack bot. That's right, it's Mako versus Usagi coming your way next and loading in to Cage 2. Mako, brought to you by Julian Papazian. That's right, this bot is yellow, it's mean, and it saws everything it sees. He's coming out there trying to claim the throne as the best overhead attack bot in the 3-pound division and punch a ticket to the World Championships. Over on the other side, we've got Alexandra Pierce. She's with Team Sleepy Anime Girl Club out of Baltimore, Maryland, with Usagi. This tiny little blade is so vicious. It cuts through and destroys batteries, shreds materials, and gets lodged so deep into bots, it takes crowbars to rip it out. This fight is going to be absolutely amazing, and it's loaded into Cage 2 right now. So to call this fight, we've got a sibling and an expert. Well, they're both experts, but one is a sibling. Dima and Ricky, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm really, really, really excited to see my brother fight
5,
once again.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fight. Robots fight.
You see Mako's cheese blocks again, but Usagi has her own kind of front armor to contend with Mako's overhead attack. But this is a 2-on-1. Mako's red half, Friendo, is locking in pins and scoring control points early for Mako.
Interesting, though, we haven't seen that lifter come into play even a little bit in that first pin.
It might be really hard to win the ground game against Usagi's spring-tipped forks.
That's definitely an uphill battle.
First blood goes to Mako.
Slice. I can't tell if those are spring steel or titanium plates on the top of Usagi, but they were effective in deflecting that attack.
They look like spring steel to me, which is not as strong as titanium, but depending on the angle, can be plenty against a saw like Mako. Depending, we'll see.
Folks at home, I have a crazy statistic for you. These two robots have fought 74 times between them. Only 2 knockouts in those 74 fights.
Mako, for a while, was famous for never getting knocked out. For a moment, was famous for almost never losing. But people started adapting to the top attack that Mako sort of helped revive in the sport that now we see is way more prominent in the meta.
No, they really popularized it, did a great job, and have nigh on perfected it. They're experimenting with something new now with the multi-bot approach.
It's sort of a new experiment, but Mako started during the mini-bot era, so no stranger to doing 2-on-1 or cooperative gameplay.
That's a great point as well. Usagi holding up very well, deflecting a lot of blows. That spring steel armor on the top is coming in clutch. They would be dead in the water without that.
Saw to saw, you kind of got to treat it like a thumb war a little bit. You got to be careful sending yours in first, because if you send yours in and don't hit anything important, they might come down on your weapon or on your arm.
Absolutely, and those weapon arms are really only one slice away from decapitation.
Let's see if these pins add up to something more meaningful in terms of damage. But right now, it looks like the control is in Mako's favor.
Yeah, however, Mako has one dead drive side now. Not sure how that happened. Oh, that looked like a damaging slice from Mako on Usagi.
Usagi has had her weapon spun up for most of the fight, but now it looks dead. Did Julian maybe snipe a wire on that arm?
Very well could be. We're coming down on the last 20 seconds, and now Usagi is having right side drive issues.
Looks like Friendo is going to finish this with a pin and lift.
It does appear that one of the phase wires on Usagi's weapon is down or struggling. I see a twitch, but I don't see spinning.
That's the fight.
That could very well be the difference that separates Usagi from a loss and victory.
And again, this fight in top 8 is to qualify for World Championships. So whoever wins this is going to be coming back in December. But for right now, we're going to go to the replays while Kazaa and Alexandra hug it out. You can see Mako getting in those cuts that start a little superficial, but eventually they find their mark to some more meaningful positions.
And here's that. I think this is the moment where that saw blade gets clipped. No, it's not. Interesting.
Not yet.
Now, we won't see it in that particular replay, but the judges will certainly see it. In the meantime, let's go to Kyle.
All right, thank you very much. We have a judge's decision ready for all of you right now. The matchup was between Actual Size and Project Liftoff 3, and your winner, no surprise there, by unanimous decision. That is Jim and Andrew Casmer, Project Liftoff number 3. This is the best version of Project Liftoff we have ever seen, and one of the past versions won a golden dumpster. Very excited to see how they match up. One of the most unconventional designs in this 3-pound bracket. But right now, we're going to go up to the prime time pits and see Richard. Richard, what do you got for us?
I've got Zach of Promethea up here. I mean, talk about a man possessed in this tournament. You and I talked yesterday, and basically you said, I just want to run this thing to see if it's championship ready, championship worthy. Well, I mean, for me, it looks that way, but it's the true test if you think so.
Yeah, I mean, I got to test one of the biggest new configs I had. Obviously, the addition of an 8.5-inch weapon to fight big wheels was a big thing. I was 0-6 against him in the past, so that's a nice little addition to finally get a win against him. I'm testing a 4 config in this fight, and modified those, and then if I win and Buzzkill wins, I get to test my new idea I brought for my horizontal wedge. So, I mean, overall, I still got a little bit of work to do to find out if it's actually truly ready.
It's never good enough, but hey, you got Xenomorph first, so overall, what have you done to be ready for that one?
Xenomorph is going to get my traditional vert config with the flat front, with the double hinged forks. Basically, at the end of the day, the goal is to see if I can out-control him, and maybe get a nice good hit on the other side, but he's real soft, so it's gonna be a minute before I can actually get a hit that's worthy.
All right, well, there you have it. So Promethea, Xenomorph, a fight we're very much looking forward to. So Kyle, back to you.
Thank you so much, Richard. We are going back for some more 3-pound action. Last fight in this bracket. We're going to have the Mag taking on Blunder from Team WPI, the only shuffler, vertical egg beater spinner left in this entire tournament. Very excited. 2 bots that we don't often see here in the prime time pits and here on the prime time stage. So really interested to see how this one goes. Different bots, very different designs, loading into the cage right now and ready to go. Okay, so over there on the left-hand side, you see Evan Rosenblatt and Blunder from Team WPI. And over there on the right-hand side, you see Derek Tran from Santa Ana, California with Mag. Vicious mid-cutter spinner. Looking forward to this fight and this action. To call this fight, we are going to go to our friends in the play-by-play booth. Dima, Ricky, what do you got for us?
Could not be more excited. This is going to be a lot of action in a 3-pound package. What do you think on this one, Dima?
Both of these bots have sustained a lot of damage today and a lot of slugfest sort of fights. Close JDs, especially earlier we saw Mag versus Chainsaw Kitty. I'm curious to see who's got the most weapon stamina going into this, because I think this is going to be yet another slugfest. Slamming a vert into a horizontal, slamming the wedge into the horizontal trying to cut angles on the vert and try to kill its drive. We have the record up there. Mag is 4-1 versus verts, and Blunder is 1-2 versus horizontals.
That could be the story tonight.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go.
Stats aren't everything, but they don't lie neither.
Blunder off to a very good start. Its front wedge holding up great against Mag so far.
Horizontals in this style, in the sort of tombstone style with the weapon in front, they have a tendency to do the thing.
They have a tendency to go flying when they go up against a wedge, but look closely and that wedge is already getting bent on Blunder, and it's already having a hard time driving because it's high centering itself.
Yup, Blunder's gonna have a rough 2.5 minutes trying to keep that wedge in front of it for protection, trying to sort of keep the sword in front of the shield and make sure that Mag doesn't hit anything important on Blunder.
Oh, look closely here. The right side shuffler pod on Blunder is jammed up, very barely moving, and now the left side is struggling as well. This isn't just a case of being high-centered. This is real physical damage to their drive system.
Damage is only going to add up more and more over these next 2 minutes.
Mag is such a well-built robot. Billet materials, excellently designed 3D printing.
Blunder's using their unstick. Now, no unsticks left for the rest of the fight.
Look at those twitches. Those little stepping feet are locked up internally and really having a hard time moving the robot around the arena.
The sort of force of the horizontal weapon, they can knock things together just as much as they can apart. And if your internal chassis is sort of bumped up against your shuffling mechanism, your wheel guards are jammed up against it, you can't move.
Well, you got to think these shuffling mechanisms are meant to move you forward and backward. They're not really meant for resisting side to side.
No, they are not.
The countout is begun. We are just about done. Your winner by knockout is Mag. Derek Tran must be really happy about that one. That robot's come a long way to be here, all the way from Santa Ana, California.
Evan Rosenblatt doesn't look too upset. But
it's hard to look upset when you look that good in a pink hat.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Of course, that's not Evan. That's his teammate, but
the WPI teams, and
he's still in some sort of onesie. I can't quite tell.
It's a goat. It's a goat.
Oh, it's a
onesie.
goat? Okay.
It's a goat. He's got a medallion on the front that says goat. And for those elder amongst us, they may not know that it means greatest of all time. Although, see.
All right, we are going to go over to Kyle. He's got a judge's decision from our last fight.
Biting my nails a little bit for this one.
It was an inevitable judge's decision for this one. We've got Mako versus Usagi, and your winner by unanimous decision. No surprise there. It's Julian Papazian and Mako. Nice job to Alexandra Pierce and the Sleepy Girl Anime Club. Good effort. Couldn't handle that multi-bot attack. But right now, we're going to go to Sam for a heartwarming story about our Havoc Academy and a competition we just ran recently. Let's check that out right now.
All right, we're in the pits here for our latest tournament, and it just so happens that Hope, the designer of Deadly Cute, is here. So we're going to go ahead and give her an Eric kit and a Deadly Cute kit for her to put together. So come on, let's do it.
God.
All right, hello, Hope.
Hi.
Hi. So thank you so much for designing Deadly Cute. You did a wonderful job on the drawing.
Thanks. I actually had an original. My mom has a picture of it. I don't know where she is right now, but I can show it to you later.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. But you know what? I just wanted to make sure that you could build your own Deadly Cute. So we have an Eric kit here for you. And inside Deadly Cute is all that special Deadly Cute parts. So you can build an Eric, and then you can build a Deadly Cute, or you can do whatever you want with it.
I heard you were gonna do doll eyes, and I'm like, no, thank you.
And then here's your Eric kit. And you know what? I happened to find this photo of you as well. Do you remember taking that? That was a while ago.
That was my tiny itty bitty robot.
Well, I'm excited to see your next robot.
I'm going to show my dad that, and he's going to scream.
All right, well, this is yours too.
I'm not sure how much I can carry.
You got it all. That was fun. That was heartwarming. It feels good to get robots in the hands of kids. They're our future engineers. And make sure you draw your own dream bot when you're here at NHRL, and it just might get built.
Aw, that was magical. All right, so loaded into Cage 1, 12-pound bracket action. It is John Flack, the Florida man himself, from Gator Robotics with Steggy. He'll be taking on, right here at the bottom of your screen, David Small from Phoenix, Arizona, with the Son of Cra. Two really amazing competitors. David Small, one of the veterans of the game. 4, John Flack, one of the young guns.
2,
Let's go to our friends in the booth to call this action.
Thank you, Kyle.
Here we go, a big hit right after the bat. These are mobile robots, my goodness.
Weapon to weapon, green to green. They're both four-wheel drive, but Son of Cra is modular and has chosen to go with the undercutter configuration for this one.
I think the undercutter is a good move. It gives him this big front plow of steel to resist Son of Cram's really dangerous drum.
It also stops him from getting popped up, which is what the Vert wants to do to you. It wants to juggle you. Son of Cram's not really getting juggled right now.
It's interesting. Steggy has this very shark-like movement, this kind of swaying approach to things, left, right. Really makes it hard for Son of Cra to get a hard, direct hit on the front, but there's one just as I say it.
Spoke too soon. I love hearing that thunk.
Very satisfying. The folks at home, you cannot imagine the feeling you get in your chest when robots collide like this.
Oh yeah, for anybody who can even remotely attempt to come out to NHRL, I encourage anybody to come just to hear and feel the action in your bones with the loud vibrations of these mechanical beasts we're driving.
Little backflips here from Son of Cra. Really interesting way to dodge an attack.
Looking very evasive.
And now Son of Cra on the aggressive. I see a belt has gone down. I believe that's a drive belt from one side of Son of Cra.
Damage is adding up. It took a minute and a half, but it's adding up.
Son of Cra now a 3-wheel drive robot.
Son of Cra getting
all
of its
weapon
damage.
has stopped on Steggy. The drive has started to go a little wonky.
These hits that Son of Cra are getting, they're in places you really don't want to get hit. You want to get hit in that plow, but you don't want to get hit anywhere else.
My goodness, this has really gone one-sided. All of a sudden, Steggy struggling to do anything more than stay alive.
Popped him up real quick on the ledge, and now you're doing the thing. You got to use that unstick.
Yeah, even then, without a weapon, this is going to be a... Oh, he's just gotten it more stuck. Flo just trying to back that thing up.
There we go. There we go.
And it's successful.
And we're driving. Last 20 seconds of the fight, but we're driving.
Driving, but just barely. Steggy really struggling right now. Oh, and another stick. It's not early enough, but it is the end of the match. Look at that. You can see right there the belt completely missing from the weapon on Steggy. And what a way to leave the fight. Son of Cra just, yeah, I'm going to stand up on my side. The equivalent of an MMA fighter ending a fight with a handstand. I've never seen that, but I would watch it.
I've seen some backflips. I've seen
that. There you go.
Seen people end by like backflipping and then face planting by accident.
Yeah, there you go.
Son of Cra maybe has proven itself as the superior green robot. But we're going to go to Sam with the 12-pound robots.
Hello, I am here with the 12-pound bracket. We just saw Steggy and Son of Cra in cage 1. That one's going to go to the judges, but we have a few more to look forward to, including Bulldon and Bagheera. We've got Promethea and Xenomorph, vert on vert in that one. Buzzkill and Minan and Plusle. This is a team battle. Both Maryland representing robots. Buzzkill now at the Leatherbacks, but formerly from Honeycrack. So looking forward to that one, and looking forward to, quite frankly, all of these fights. So I'm gonna send it on over to Kyle to set us up for this next fight.
All right, the 12-pound division here at the National Havoc Robot League is a personal favorite of mine. We're going to go up to the prime time pits right now and check in with our friend Richard. Richard, what do you got for us?
I've got Andrew of Project Liftoff. Good news and bad news for you. The good news is that congratulations, you have qualified for Worlds. Yeah. Very excited. Yeah. The bad news is you got to fight Sir Sicey. So sum up the anticipation for that fight for me.
It's a challenging one for us. We fought Deep Melt with Sir Sicey fought Deep Melt earlier today. That's our autonomous Melty Brain robot. We're going to run the same configuration that Deep Melt ran, or we're going to switch it up a little bit. Physically, they're the same robots. Deep Melt, though, is fully autonomous. Obviously, Project Liftoff, I drive. So we're going to attempt to beat Sir Sicey with our single impactor design. We're hoping that that gets increased weapon engagement. And truthfully, we're just going to go weapon to weapon with them and hope that they break. That's about all we can do.
Hey, solid strategy. You guys have been very impressive today. I mean, I've gotten to watch some of the fights, and man, that thing is really something to watch. But overall, the impressive run, you guys qualifying, short of a golden dumpster, how would you sum up your event in November?
I'd love a golden dumpster. Last time we got one was 2022. The robots come a long way, but another big win for Melty Brains. Really excited to qualify for December. That was absolutely the goal, and it's wonderful to get to spend some time with my dad and keep fighting robots.
That's awesome, man. All right. Well, hey, best of luck in the next round. Kyle, back to you, good sir.
Thank you so much. We've got more 12-pound robot fighting coming your way. Check out this crowd. How are you guys doing? Yeah. They have been sitting tight with us all day, watching this action. They are so pumped for the prime time, the finals, the golden dumpsters, the accolades coming your way. But the next fight in the 12-pound division is loading into that box right now. Two heavy hitters in the most competitive 12-pound division in the entire world. That's right, we've got the purple robot of doom from Nick Andries. It's Big Hira. And over there on the other side, you have Bulldon. I am so excited. Check out the differences between these two bots. One's got a sharp, vicious little blade. One's got a big, wide drum. Tip speed's gonna tell the tale here, and we're gonna see how this goes. But to call this action as the cage gets locked, we're gonna go to Ricky and Dima. How are you guys doing?
Once again, Kyle, we're doing great. I'm really, really excited to see Bagheera fight. It's sort of a true upscale of a 3-pounder, pronounced exactly the same, Bagheera, and this one is Big-Hira. But Bulldon, let's see if that fearsome, simple, compact design is gonna carry it through this fight.
We will find out soon enough. This is such a matchup, and I just want to take a moment to look at the scale here. I love the fact that the 12-pounders have so much room to run. It makes for such fun fights.
It lets them show off their driving prowess, too.
Yeah, oh, a big first hit from Bulldon.
Big hits of the forks, knocking Bagheera away.
Well, Bulldon is just dominating these exchanges. One after another. We talk about combos and chaining hits. This is exactly what we're talking about.
So this is what you want to do. This is Bulldon exacting the game plan as best as you could draw it up.
Now it has to start a new one. That one ended. It wants to chain these up again. Can he do it? This is the moment.
There's your combo starter.
Oh, well, I don't blame you for stopping a combo when your opponent might be stuck on the rails.
Behind the house bot. House bot's got to move out of the way. Doesn't want to stop the action, but it keeps happening.
Oh, and a drive belt is now down on the left-hand side of Bagheera.
Bagheera taking big shots to its chassis right now. Let's see what it's got if it can self-right.
Another belt has gone. I don't think it has a lot of belts left, Dima.
I don't know what kind of functionality they're going to have once they do manage to get right side up, if they do before getting KO'd.
The weapon is still running. Both drive sides are still running, but it looks like they're going to have to use an unstick. Yep, they are using their unstick. They are righted, but they ain't got no more in the tank.
What a tank. What a tank, even though they got none left in the tank, for being able to survive after all this.
Oh, this is not the place they want to be. It looks like they can move. But because of that missing belt, no, I take that back. It's the rear wheels that function without a belt.
Looks like they're spinning up and down to try to get some motion, but there's the KO counts.
This is going to be a KO almost certainly.
There's the knockout.
You know, they walked out of that fight in one piece, but boy, did they get their teeth kicked in.
They sure did. Kudos to Bulldon for getting in there with pure fundamentals and strutting their stuff. Driver of Bagheera has made it to bracket 10 times, but this is their first time in prime time.
Yeah, just really impressive driving and execution. Right now, though, we are going to head over to Kyle. He's got a little bit of news from us from the judges' headquarters.
I love 12-pound action. All right, we've got a judge's decision for you from the Steggy versus Son of Cra fight. And your winner is, by unanimous decision and a huge margin, David Small and Son of Cra. Super excited to see them. They will be moving on into the next bracket, and they've qualified for the World Championship at the end of the season. Very excited for David Small of Phoenix, Arizona. Absolutely amazing. We've got more 12-pound action coming your way. The next fight is going to be Promethea versus Xenomorph. I am so pumped to see it. Right now, though, we're going to go cage side with Sam and Nick Andries.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I am here with Nick from Bagheera. And Nick, this is your first time in primetime. What does that mean for you?
Hey, it's 13 times I think now I've been trying to get here. I'm sad that I lost, but so happy to finally get over that hump and hopefully go one more next time.
Well, I hope you go more than one more next time, and I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much, and good run today.
Thank you very much, Sam.
All right, we're going to send it back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, very much so appreciated. We've got more 12-pound destruction coming your way, and a super pumped crowd about broomsticks, I believe. They're cleaning up that cage right now, getting ready for the next fight. We've got Promethea. We've got a Xenomorph coming your way. This is going to be two amazing competitors. We've got David Dreyer with Xenomorph. We've got Zach Knight with Promethea. Promethea has been on another level all season long. That will probably continue tonight in the most competitive 12-pound division in the entire world at the National Havoc Robot League. Our audience cannot be more pumped. They have been with us all day for the action in the preliminaries. All right, so right now, here are our competitors. This is Zach Knight of Team Defective. And he is competing today with his bot, Promethea. Zach's been operating levels above the competition in the 12-pound bracket all year. Will that continue tonight? And on the other side, we've got David Dreyer. He's here with love for aliens and everyone else with Xenomorph. David Dreyer coming to you from Ohio. He works at Kent State and he puts together some vicious machines. Look at the blade on Xenomorph. Promethea running its classic giant spinner up there in the front. This is going to be explosive no matter what you do. We are going to go to our friends in the play-by-play booth to call this action. Ricky, Dima, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm really excited for this fight, not just because I'm a fan of the Xenomorph creature, but I'm a really big fan of the designs of both these robots.
Yeah, these are really well engineered. So many interesting design features on both of these robots. I'm just looking at one right now. The straight gearing system driving the weapon on Xenomorph. Relatively unused approach, but has a lot of strong advantages in a fight like this.
I love to see gears like that. I love to see what it does to the drive, but let's get into it.
3, 2, 1. Fight. Robots fight.
Away we go.
Just look at the size difference here. Xenomorph is nearly twice the size of Promethea. Let's see if it matters, though. Sometimes the bigger robot just gets to bully you, but how do you stand up to a bully, Ricky? You get up there and you smack him in his face, get him to back down.
Pepper spray.
That works too?
Pepper spray was the answer. No, we're having a, wow, look at this. Look at him bullied into the corner.
That's that bully style, using the size to corral you into the corner.
That is really what the size difference affords you when used. Oh, look at the carnage. Look at the pieces, look at the chunks missing. There's belts dangling, there's plastic torn askew. Pieces of robot dangling off the chassis. Sparks flying. Xenomorph is taking its opponent apart.
Fork missing off Promethea, the side guard starting to go down. Looks like the weapon might have trouble spinning up too. This is not looking good for Zach Knight.
Credit to Zach, though. That robot is still moving. It's still spinning its weapon, and that is an angry-sounding blade. And Xenomorph's weapon is down now. Anything could happen.
Tables might be turning. One thing about tables is that they turn. Let's see if Promethea can score some hits with that very scary weapon, though. It's really hard to get any good contact on the shape of Xenomorph. If you can see, it's a little bit see-through. There's just some gaps in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's huge areas of plastic that are basically sacrificial.
It's hard to get meaningful damage on this robot.
That is incredible control, but they done messed up, Dima.
They done messed up. They done goofed. The consequences will never be the same.
They're calling for an unstick. but that was a mistake.
They're not unstuck yet. They're still in the same spot they were in.
Oh, there it is. That's the moment. They are back on their
Here we
feet,
go.
but they cannot afford to do that again. But their weapon is back!
The weapon is back.
Incredible!
Drive is down.
Drive is struggling. The left-hand side is down. The right-hand side is up. The weapon is spinning, and Promethea is punch drunk in the middle of the arena.
Great way to put it with how it's moving. With there's 30 seconds left for either of these competitors trying to make something happen.
I think this is going to be one big hit left in this fight.
Take a wild swing. Somebody hit somebody.
This could be it. Oh, he's just nibbling. He's just nibbling.
Yeah, a little bit anthropomorphic.
Yum, 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 yum. It's incredible. But now the weapon is down on Promethea. Was that all it had left? Coming down, this is going to be a judge's decision, but this is wild.
Oh, this is a rough one to score.
The drive is working on the right-hand side of Xenomorph, but it's high-centered. The weapon is working on Xenomorph. The left-hand side drive is down. On the other side of the table, you've got one half drive and a weapon down on Promethea. Oh, but the weapon pops back just in time for the functionality check. That could be a huge difference in how this fight is judged.
Yeah, they ended with it on. I almost wonder if they kept it down for the last 15 or so seconds just to preserve it because they knew it was going to the judges.
It wouldn't be a bad move, and we have seen stranger things before.
Yeah, I've seen that show a couple times. I've really, really, really liked this fight. It was kind of a slugfest, but you basically racked up the damage. There was no pins. There was some lack of control on Xenomorph's side. But towards the end, I wonder who showed the more aggression. Let's see if the replay will tell us.
I don't know. This control we saw earlier and control with aggression from Xenomorph was really impressive. And the damage done, sure, we can look at raw functionality, but the big pieces, look at the violence that was inflicted on Promethea there.
The fight ended a little bit even, but how it started was Xenomorph bullying the ever-loving heck out of Promethea.
We're gonna, man, what a fight. So much back and forth. We're gonna go to Richard. I think he's got some news for us upstairs.
All right, well, actually, I have Julian of Mako. You've got a big fight coming up with Meg. But first, last night we talked, it was a little bit, morbid. But, hey, you had high standards for yourself. So overall, you're in the primetime pits. We're talking official primetime business. Take us through your day and the upcoming fight.
I got my boy Jaren here, leading us to victory. He's been killing it today. Every fight has been pretty dang hard, but we're persevering. We're cutting them, we're lifting them, and we're somehow alive. I'm in the World Championship next month, and it means a lot to me. It's been not the greatest year for Mako, but, I mean, we did it. Now I got to win some more. I got a few more to win.
Yeah, you certainly do, and we've seen a few different configurations. You guys have been surgeons out there in the cage. What can we expect to see against Meg?
It's a secret.
It's a secret. I like that. Leave us in suspense. Okay, pausing for anticipation, and we're going to build to this next fight. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in the tournament. Smile. All right, we're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, we've got some hive on hive action coming your way. So that's right, Maryland versus Maryland. We've got Liam King of Team Honeycracked with his horizontal undercutter death machine, Buzzkill. On the other side of the arena, mentors, if you will, it's Zoe Lambert, it's Matt Luther, also of Team Honeycracked and also Team Defective, Minan, Plusle, Multibot Madness. It's just a lot of big wheels. It's a lot of hub motors. It's gonna be scary on that side of the arena. Spooky even for this Halloween season. Very excited for this action. I cannot wait to see it. There will be nothing but hits in this arena very soon. And to call all that action, we're gonna go to Dima Papazian and Ricky Willems in the play-by-play booth.
Thank you so much, Kyle. This is going to be a lot of fun. Minan and Plusle have been fun all day. Buzzkill, just as much so. And of course, as a Maryland hometown person, I can't be more excited to see my state represented so well in the premier arena here at NHRL. This should be a fun fight.
This will be a fun fight. These are two of my favorite Pokemon trainers in the flesh. And I can't fault you for having that Maryland pride, but this is my state. This is my hometown. I'm a Connecticut native. This is NHRL, the National Havoc Robot League, but also the Norwalk Havoc Robot League.
I gotta say, you take a look around, you see who's winning, and a lot of them are Marylanders, a lot more than the Connecticuters. Connecticuters?
Yeah, we got Julian. We got Julian.
You got Julian.
I say
Everybody gets one.
I say that like he's like my neighbor. That's my brother. But regardless, getting ready to see Buzzkill. Not just rooting for Minan and Plusle. Buzzkill has a really, really, really tough, compact design with an undercutter and a wedge. And let's see if it can knock around one half of Minan and Plusle and take out the other half.
It's going to be really interesting to see. Minan and Plusle both have nice wedges on the front. They should deflect hits, but look how thin they are. Those wedges are only going to take so much abuse before they go flying, and frankly, I don't know if they'll make it through the fight.
We've seen those wedges, those like smaller skirt-style wedges come off of Minan and Plusle earlier. Let's see if it happens again.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Ooh, there's an excellent bullying, but Minan has gone down already. It's just Plusle versus Buzzkill now. Plusle's going to be real careful, going to need to be real careful.
You hear that, Ricky? You hear that sound?
That is some hard. Look at the weapon is completely missing from Buzzkill. Been decapitated. This is completely Plusle's game now. And yet, impressive control being exerted by Buzzkill on Plusle.
That doesn't get more impressive than that kind of control. Don't want to be inverted even when there's no weapon left.
Look at that weapon just dangling there, or laying there, not even dangling at this point.
First minute of the fight, Buzzkill gets decapitated upside down, and Plusle is the one that's KO'd?
I believe Minan is the blue. So, Minan is in fact KO'd.
I didn't play enough Gen 3 to remember which one's Minan and which one's Plusle. I'm a Gen 1er.
I'm 2 maybe.
two maybe.
After that, it just gets to be too many. Right now, I think Buzzkill's saying there's too many Pokemon in the arena. One's too many for his taste.
Buzzkill saw the fanciful Pokemon theming and the Minan and Plusle suits and said, I'm going to kill your guys.
I've had enough of that.
I've had enough of this.
That's farce. Here we are. Interesting. We seem to have some drive trouble stacking up on Plusle.
Buzzkill maneuvering around great while inverted, but I wonder if it's going to count against them.
I don't know. I wouldn't think so. And frankly, it has a lot of other things going against it right now, like an entire missing weapon blade.
Yeah. Just trying to look at it from all angles because I got no idea how this fight's going to get judged.
Well, we have just under a minute left. Still a lot of time for things to happen. I am just so impressed by the fact that Buzzkill is able to bully Plusle around the arena despite having no weapon, no forks, and an upside-down plow. It's incredible.
No weapon, no ground game, but a big weight advantage.
That's true. A big old weight advantage. Because Minan and Plusle are a multi-bot, Buzzkill is going to weigh a lot more than either half of that robot it's facing. What a pin!
Pretty significant pin this close to the end of the fight. That's what you want to do, 10 seconds left.
Yeah, what a way to end this fight, even if that's all we see. Oh, and it's right side up again!
That's a great way to end.
I gotta say, this looks pretty good for Buzzkill, and that is incredible given the rapid explosive disassembly of its weapon system.
I said this a lot today, Ricky. When things go south, you got to play to your outs, and your weapon gets completely ripped off of your robot and you have no ground game, what do you got to do? Get those pins. And get those pins they did. Great job driving from Liam King.
Yeah, I think it's smiles all around. Everyone is really impressed with each other. In the meantime, let's go to Kyle. I think he's got the judge's decision from the Promethea Xenomorph matchup earlier.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have the judge's decision from Promethea versus Xenomorph. Quite a slugfest that match was, but your winner, unanimous decision, David Dreyer and Xenomorph. Very close, and they are going on into the next round of that bracket. Congratulations to David Dreyer. Xenomorph looking like a world beater already, and it's a brand new design. I absolutely love that for David. 12-pound bracket looking vicious. But right now, we are going to go to Sam with a special report.
Yeah. It's special. This is Eric. It's a robot that we designed here at the National Havoc Robot League to foster new builders into the sport of fighting robots. It's a platform from which you can build on and sort of make it your own. And just last week we had a handful of builders from all over the East Coast come out and make Eric's their own, such as Alan Pan. We had Michael Reeves, William Osmond out here, and we all had a blast over 24 hours when we modified 10 Erics to perform tasks in our cage. Difficult tasks that are not fighting, stuff that requires cutting string or shooting a needle at a balloon, stuff that involves taking small children out of sand buckets, and, well, this cat. And the cat was great. The robots were great. It was so much fun to apply these fighting robot skills to some sort of different application, one that's a bit more expressive. And we all had a blast, and I'm gonna send it right back over to you, Kyle.
Thank you very much, Sam. We have got 30-pound action coming your way. Big bots, big hits, and big damage. Really excited to see it. That bracket has already been filled out. We know who's moving on. So we've got at the top of the bracket, Kazaa Lite taking on the Terminator. Remember, Kazaa Lite running an alternate weapon type with some hot pokers for this fight, going up against Terminator from Florida. But down at the bottom, horizontal destruction. Kabooey Tango is going up against, from Brazil, Jubileu. I'm so excited for that matchup. Nobody's coming out of that one unscathed. The 30-pound division is looking vicious as always. All of these bots have qualified for the World Championships next month. Let's see who walks home with the golden dumpster in the big boy bracket. And we are ready to begin the 30-pound semifinals. Starting us off, it's Joshua Reinhardt, and it is Kazaa Lite. And his opponent, from Gator Robotics out of Florida. That's right, it's Terminator. This bot has got the big wide drum of everyone's nightmares, ripping people apart, all event. And Brooke Silver is going to absolutely have to put on a driving clinic if he wants a chance at taking out Kazaa Lite and punching his ticket into the finals. But for this action, we're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth. Ricky, Dima, let's see what we can do.
Let's see what they can do, Kyle. This is gonna be fun. We've got Kazaa Lite from Joshua Reinhardt coming in from Norwich, Connecticut. He's got hot lances burning at thousands of degrees, trying to pierce its opponent. A 19-9 record and a supreme talent for adaptability. He's gonna be going up against
Terminator, driven by Brooke Silver out of Melbourne, Florida. really truly leaning into the Florida Gator theme. He's got a very wide, competent, strong drum spinner with a 7-4 record and a skill that demonstrates the sheer power of Terminator. Terminator is absolutely a kill or be killed robot.
Should be a fantastic matchup. I'm excited to see it. I think we're going to see a lot of flying robots in this fight.
We're going to see some stuff get flung. I think we're going to see chunks get taken out. I'm really, really pumped for this one. And let's see if Kazaa Lite can try to slow the pace of Terminator down, get those pins, get that control, use that 2-on-1 advantage, maybe do a little melting. Maybe Terminator might do a little decapitating. We'll see.
Now you're speaking my language.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots,
Away
fight.
we go. Terminator off to a cautious start. Now the forks on the front of Kazaa Lite are very good against big drums like Terminator, and it's all about how you approach your opponent right now.
Kazaa Lite winning that ground game, but
didn't even attempt to use its weapon in that exchange.
No, you don't want to run your weapon into Terminator's face. It's a recipe for disaster. But Terminator's doing the thing. It's like
called for an early unstick.
It's pretty early.
This is interesting. We have seen Kazaa Lite block house bots in the past.
Doesn't look like they're trying to do much. Oh, looks like instead of blocking the house bot from doing the unstick, they're waiting for the unstick to happen and then keeping the house bot there.
Very interesting move. I don't think we've seen a lot of that in the past.
I'm into it. I dig it.
It is a move.
Well, now the unstick is basically completed as far as I can tell. But no, never mind. Flo is still trying to get him off the wall.
There is an element of housebot driver discretion in this, but boy, this Kazaa Lite interference with the housebot unstick continues.
That's exactly what I said is going to happen. They're going to slow down the pace.
Yeah, and each time the housebot tries to wiggle loose, it just embeds Terminator farther into the wall. That was some crazy strategy from Kazaa Lite.
That's got to be a disappointing one for Terminator. I can't imagine Gator Robotics is walking away super duper happy with that one. But Kazaa Lite showing off that they're veterans of the sport. They deserve that #1 seed, and they're going to play to their strengths. Even though they can't use their typical flamethrower weapon, they're not necessarily reliant on their glow plug replacements. Instead, they're going to focus on control. Like I keep saying, they're going to use their defensive aspects to slow down these fights.
Yeah, it is all about adaptability, and in this case, adaptability was driving style, not just robot design.
Exactly, well put. The tail of the tape did say their skill was adaptability, and that's not necessarily just the robot's skill, that's the driver's skill. And they showed it off. There are two drivers there. Both of them working in tandem in conjunction. They gotta be in sync to make these complicated strategies work of pinning you with Flo, the housebot.
Very impressive. We're gonna go to Kyle next. I believe he's got a judge's decision for us.
Oh boy, do I. Let's find out who the winner of Minan and Plusle and Buzzkill. And your winner by unanimous decision, no surprise there, Liam King and Buzzkill. Beautiful job. His domination against multibots continues. That driving style is just indomitable, even without a weapon. Absolutely amazing. All right, we are going to go up to the prime time pits. Richard, what do you got for us?
Well, I have David with Son of Cra, and they're getting ready to fight Bulldon. Now, you told me just a moment ago, you've got a little bit of work to do. So walk me through what you guys have to do.
Sure. So we've got 4 of those metal pieces on the robot. They keep the drum from hitting the floor, which is very important, obviously. In our fight against Steggy, every single one of those was bent because he's an undercutter, and that's what undercutters do is they bend all of your armor in places you don't want them to hit because they reach so low. So we're either working on spares, which we have limited supply of, or we're bending those back into shape or re-drilling or re-burring any way we can to get all 4 back on the robot and be ready for our next fight.
I feel like you seem really calm given the situation. Have you been in a similar one like this before with parts like that?
I've been in way worse situations. I'm also exhausted, and that kind of helps, but the trick is just don't let the stress get to you. We're just here to play with toys and have fun. So I try to keep that mentality.
Play with toys and have fun. Well, as you can see, yeah, that was a very interesting visual for you guys down there. So courtesy of Steggy. But hey, we're excited for this fight. Best of luck in the next round. And we're going to go ahead and send it back to Kyle.
Thank you oh so very much, Richard. We've got more of this action from the 30-pound bracket coming your way. Let's find out who's making it into the finals. That's right, semifinal action. It is horizontal versus horizontal destruction, a rematch from November of 2023. I am so excited to see these two competitors go head-to-head yet again in their second matchup of all time. And we are probably putting them ready to load in right now. There's our audience. They have been sitting with us all day. They are so pumped for prime time, ready for the action. See who qualifies for this 30-pound final. This fight is going to be absolutely vicious. Nobody is walking out of this arena unscathed tonight. We've got a bot that's come all the way from Brazil and another bot that came from parts unknown after it was lost in the mail for 3 months. That's not a joke. Literally lost in the mail for 3 months. Just showed up on one of the builders' doorsteps and it's here. So let's get into this action right now. From Team Warrior, it's Nicholas de Freitas Cunha with Jubileu. Just a classic robot from a classic team from Brazil. 20 years of history with this robot team. Absolutely amazing. And on the other side of the arena, it's Alex Kreese, and it is Kabooey Tango! Alex has designed one vicious machine. It is all themed out for Halloween. This action is gonna be absolutely vicious. Rematch of the century from back in November of 2023. Getting in here 2 years later. Alex won the last one. Can he pull off the win again and punch his ticket to a championship final tonight? Let's go to our friends in the booth. Dima, Ricky, let's call this action.
Thank you so much, Kyle. We're gonna jump right into the tail of the tape. Jubileu from Nicholas all the way from Brazil. This is a vicious undercutter with an impressive 21-7 record. Make no mistake, these people are passionate, absolutely determined to make their way through this and win that golden dumpster.
Now, I'm confident in Nicolas de Freitas Cunha's ability, but Kabooey Tango, driven by Alex Kreese, their skill is winning history, which essentially is another way to say this is legendary. This is a legendary bot, and it's got a smaller record of 8-3, but coming out of Seattle, Washington, hasn't fought with Kabooey Tango at NHRL in a couple years now. We're so excited to see it back, and every time it's been in the cage today, it's been a fight to behold. So let's see another 3 minutes of pure carnage.
I wouldn't be surprised if we did. Oh, that was a fun little noise there. You hear that?
I think that was one of those megaphone beats.
I'm into that.
I've been known to play with that sort of megaphone toy before.
I dig. It's a Gene Belcher kind of move there.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Papazians or Belchers, but
that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Squaring up. I'm very excited to see undercutter versus horizontal here.
2, 1, fight.
Away we go. Oh, first exchange going handily to Jubileu.
Yeah, weapon to weapon. Looks like Kabooey Tango is the one spinning down slower, and now they're inverted.
Ooh. That'll actually be interesting. I think that might help Kabooey Tango.
Yeah, there might have been some thought to having actually started this way. Run the plow into their weapon and turn your undercutter into an overcutter.
Yeah, the overcutter won't do much good at first, but at least it'll be able to put some real stress on your opponent's weapon.
Absolutely. I wonder if the reach is going to be, if Kabooey can get to Jubileu's back, I wonder if they have enough reach to really do some damage to the internals.
We'll see. It's going to be tough getting back there. Neither robot moving very well at this point. Kabooey Tango not as comfortable inverted as I kind of expected.
No, but I can't tell if a wheel is not sort of loose or if a drive side is locked up, but it looks like Jubileu has absolutely the movement advantage right now. It looks like they're taking their sweet time getting over to Kabooey's side of the cage.
It would appear that way.
Getting some hits to the back, that's not where you want to get hit.
Wow, look at this.
Those kind of shots make me wince. Any single one of those could be a kill.
It really could, and you can see Kabooey Tango's wheel is definitely bent. It's not supposed to be sitting like that, but it is still spinning.
It is functional.
It is amazing to me to have this matchup in the cage right now. Neither of these robots has fought before today since 2023.
It's a long time, Ricky.
Ooh, one of the chains has popped off of Kabooey Tango's drive side. It is now running on 3-wheel drive.
You see it jiggling and jumping up a lot more. That drive is getting less and less smooth. And we got 1:15 left to see who can dish out more damage.
Oh, the weapon has stopped. Wow, this could be a big moment.
That's what that plow's for. Enough damage to that weapon trying to chunk through that metal.
Oh man, if Kabooey Tango could right itself somehow, this could be a whole different game.
It's already a whole different game. It looks like Jubileu is using the movement advantage properly, and once the weapon's not spinning, the drive is a lot smoother and faster.
Absolutely, and you can afford to push that weapon into your opponent without fear of going flying, which is another big factor.
So this has ceased to become weapon-to-weapon fights and more, let me get as much control and pin you and disable you as much as I can, which they're doing a good job. But it looks like they're...
That drive system is just barely functioning. Doesn't look like they've called for it. They must have called for an unstick.
Looks like they called for it verbally to the ref instead of using the button.
Could very well be, yes.
Kabooey, you got 10 seconds.
I hear a countdown has begun. Oh, that is a countdown, though, just for the end of the match. They're going to barely escape a knockout. I think that's going to be pretty conclusive.
I would agree, but might be split decision depending on how they wait. Damage? Did Kabooey really take more damage if half the drive or so is gone?
It really depends on how you look at it. The fact that it was inverted made its drive almost non-functional. So while the physical damage may not have added up to quite the same level as a completely downed weapon, functionally...
That control level was low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we say control level, but apply that to the damage score and say, yeah, that drive was barely working. So it's going to be really interesting to see because the driver doesn't have an opportunity to right the robot and demonstrate how it would have driven if it was right side up, right? The judges have to judge it by how it ended the fight.
Barely working is a great way to put that drive. They narrowly avoided getting KO'd via countout.
Right. Never a place to end your fight. We're going to head over to Sam. I think he's got some news for us before we get into the 3-pound matches.
Yeah, it's what those 3-pound matches are, and the top 4 of the 3-pound bracket is looking awesome. We've got different archetypes at every level. So Sir Slicey, the beater bar, up top versus Project Liftoff, the best melty brain. And down at the bottom, we have Mako, the overhead attack saw versus the horizontal spinner of Mag. These are going to be some amazing matchups, and I can't wait to see them in Cage 2. I'm going to send it over to you, Kyle.
Thank you so very much. We are so excited to bring you this next judge's decision. This was a close one, but this is a rematch from back in 2023. We've got Jubileu and, never mind, sorry. This is going to be Buzzkill versus Minan and Plusle. We've got your unanimous decision there, so it is going to be. And so we are not quite ready for that judge's decision with Jubileu yet. We will be finding out about that shortly. Horizontal destruction. But this is going to be the 9th judges' decision since we got into prime time. Very unlikely in prime time. We've had 13 fights. This is the 9th judges' decision so far. We are putting those judges to work tonight, making them give us as much information as humanly possible because, man, you got to get your money's worth out of those guys. It is what it is. But we've got this decision coming to you very shortly. Jubileu versus Kabooey Tango. So let's go back to our friends in the play-by-play booth while we await that judge's decision.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Yeah, it's been a wild night. We don't usually have this many judges' decisions, and there's a lot of factors that play into that. Dima, what do you make of the situation?
I would say a lot of it is due to how even some of these matchups are. There's a lot of parity between these robots, and there's a lot of matchups where you see verts to verts, and they're really, really well-designed robots smashing their weapons up against each other until both of them stop working. We're not seeing KOs because both of them are taking significant sustained damage over many, many engagements.
It's a really big factor, right? And as these things, the durability wears down and they become damaged, not only do they last a long time in terms of raw function, but a lot of times that functionality gets degraded. And of course, if you're not hitting as hard as you were at the beginning of the fight, the chances of exploding your opponent suddenly start to go down. So you get this back and forth kind of compounding situation where knockout wins become a little less likely.
Not only are weapons going down, we see a lot of drive sides going down. We see a little bit of that crab walking sort of thing. And once that happens, or once one or both robots are doing that, it's really hard to get that really flashy KO finish.
Yeah. Plus some incredible control matches as well, and that so often heads to a judge's decision. In the meantime, though, before we get to a potentially another judge's decision or a big knockout, we're going to go back to Kyle. I think he's got some news for us.
I do finally have some news for us. That's right, Jubileu versus Kabooey Tango. We finally have a judge's decision winner for you, and the winner is, by unanimous decision, Jubileu of Brazil, Team Warrior. That's really interesting. That's one win for one team, one win for another team. They've got a rubber match coming up in the future. I can already feel it. In the meantime, though, let's go up to the prime time pits and see Richard.
Yeah, I'll pick it.
Richard, what do you got for us?
Well, I've got David of Xenomorph, and while he gets ready for his big fight against Buzzkill, he actually just got a care package from Zach of Promethea. Man, tell me about this.
Yeah, honestly, me and Zach go way back. I've got multiple matches with him. I had to build a brand new robot to finally beat him, but honestly, I'm ecstatic. I never thought I'd be able to take on a bot like Promethea. He's a champion bot, and he said this is the most damage that Promethea has ever taken in its combat career, which honestly I couldn't be more honored to be in that world, because Promethea is such a wonderful robot and a well-built machine, and to do this kind of stuff to him, I mean, this is his upright here. I mean, it's literally broken in half. I mean, he gave me a whole goodie bag full of broken parts here. So yeah, Zach's an awesome competitor, and I really appreciate fighting with him and putting on a great show.
Well, hey, man, keep dishing it. I mean, that's awesome right there. Good luck in the next round. That's the kind of sportsmanship and camaraderie we love here at NHRL. So sometimes the best gifts are the ones that you yourself had a hand in making. So let's go ahead and send it back to Kyle.
All right, we are going to go down to some 3-pound robot fighting action. If you really know this sport, you know the 3-pound division is where it's at. The physics get wonky, the hits are massive. You're launching a bots from coast to coast across the box. Absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for that. But in the meantime, walking out, we've got Evan Bimji having the night of his life, the night of his combat robotics career with Sir Slicey. He's been driving beautifully today. And over on the other side, we've got the Casmers, Andrew and Jim with Project Liftoff 3. They are on the track, on the path for their next golden dumpster tonight. Will they get through Sir Slicey and Evan Bimji's driving clinic? His mastery has been beyond reproach tonight. So to call this action, we are going to go to the play-by-play booth with Dima and Ricky.
This is going to be yet another amazing fight. We have the tail of the tape here. Evan Bimji out of Lancaster, Massachusetts with Sir Slicey. We have, it does say a drum spinner, but that's not the full story when you look at how unique this weapon is compared to other vertical spinners with the cantilevered dual blades. Not quite a drum, not quite a drisk, not quite parallel even, but it's really, really, really interesting, powerful weapon with a great driver who's gotten a lot of experience over the past couple years and a 16-5 record at NHRL.
From one unique weapon to another, Sir Slicey's gonna be facing off against Project Liftoff. This is from Jim Casmer. He's coming all the way up from North Carolina with his Melty Brain full body spinner. No separate drive system, just one giant bloodthirsty weapon. An incredible 47-31 record and an amazing level of technology packed into a small and deadly package.
I had the pleasure of talking to the Casmers yesterday after they passed their safety and learned about their different configurations and why they do the things they do.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go. Wow!
Sending itself flying, getting roofed. Bouncing around like air hockey.
Wow, these are incredible hits. Sir Slicey has been dishing it out today, but not against an actual dish.
I'm supposed to be the funny one, Ricky.
Incredible work from Sir Slicey, winning almost every engagement, sending his opponent into the walls, into the polycarbonate.
Project Liftoff is
into the roof.
Not even taken anything close to this level of.
Oh, but wait, Sir Slicey's weapon has stopped. Listen, it's great to be able to dish out a hit, but you need to be in the game for the full threat. It's back.
There it is, there it is, there it is. The action is not over. Project Liftoff has not taken nearly this kind of hits, let alone these amount of hits in one fight, and we're only a minute in.
This is an entire evening's worth of abuse on Project Liftoff, and it's showing no signs of stopping.
It's not only getting sent side to side of the arena, it's getting popped up. But just like every other fight, Project Liftoff doesn't seem to take any damage.
Yeah, but we gotta say the same as Sir Slicey. Yeah, the weapon went down for a minute, but everything's still where it's supposed to be.
That might have even been calculated, I don't know.
These exchanges, oh, Sir Slicey getting a little bit sloppy and suffering for it. Wow!
You hear Project Liftoff sort of, it's screeching, dying down and kicking back up after each of these hits.
The fact that this robot looks and sounds and even acts like some sort of alien machine has to be one of my favorite things at NHRL.
Project Liftoff was one of my first bots that I was truly amazed by, and I'm still amazed by it more and more every time I see it. A minute left. It looks like Sir Slicey is firmly in the driver's seat when it comes to aggression and control.
I gotta say, this could be a big upset. Sir Slicey is ranked 33 overall here at NHRL. Project Liftoff 193. That's 160 places.
Sir Slicey has the higher seed, but Project Liftoff has looked simply unbeatable all day.
Yo, show me the flaw. I can't see it, Dima.
Turns out, to beat a flawlessly engineered robot like that, you might just have to drive your heart out and have a weapon tough enough to deal all that damage to a Melty Brain, spinning its whole body without going down yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for the impressiveness of Project Liftoff, it might not matter. You can't argue Sir Slicey has been dominating this match.
And they were inverted for a second, but they end on their head in total control. It looks like full functionality.
What an incredible match. The crowd is going wild.
Now that's a fight.
That is a hell of a fight.
I can't wait to see some of the biggest hits in the replay.
I'm sure we will. The whole fight could be a replay as far as I'm concerned. Let's go right into it.
It's hard to even know what the most impactful moment was, but I guess we'll see in just a moment.
so many roof shots. Sir Slicey has been dishing out roof shots, but not this many in a match. This is incredible. You can see how planted and how quickly Sir Slicey is able to bounce back, resettle, and get back on the attack. Really impressive, just nerves of steel from Evan Bimji.
Absolutely. He makes it look so easy to just regain complete control after throwing your whole weight into Project Liftoff. But once you... I'm sure Project Liftoff was getting bounced up and down and all around the arena, but Sir Slicey was too. And every single time he regained control, just like that.
Yeah,
Perfect offense and perfect defense.
Let's not forget, though, a lot of these hits from Sir Slicey on Project Liftoff are actually Project Liftoff driving into Sir Slicey. There's a lot of aggression and a lot of control being shown from Project Liftoff in this fight that might not be immediately obvious.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's take a look cage side, see what the vibe is. I think the vibe is pretty darn excited. Let's go up to Richard. I bet he's got some news for us upstairs.
Oh boy, do I ever. I've got Liam of Buzzkill. Now, you had a great fight to get here, winning the Clash of Honeycracked, but now you face Xenomorph, who just dished some of the biggest damage, in fact, I think the worst damage that Promhead has ever taken. Your thoughts on the upcoming fight?
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty scared. This robot is massive. If you were to look at it, I would almost think it's a 30. It's huge. But I'm hoping my undercutter can get the edge and cut under, maybe take out some wheels as undercutters like to do. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I hope to make it past the semifinals this time, and it'll be the best I did this year, and hopefully I can make it all the way. So, yeah.
What's the strategy against a bot like that?
I don't know.
Figure it out later.
Yeah, well, I'm going to turn on the weapon, and I'm going to be a big undercutter. And I'm going to do what undercutters do best. So just going to see what happens and hope I can deal more hits than he can.
Turn on the weapon and let it fly. Solid strategy. Best of luck in the next one. Kyle, hey, back to you, bud.
Thank you so much. We've got more 3-pound action coming your way, but in the meantime, we have a judge's decision for that last matchup that we saw. Evan Bimji and Sir Slicey putting on a driving clinic. And yeah, there you go. So close, but unanimous decision for Evan Bimji having the driving night of his life. The bot is working beautifully, and he took down a monster in the Casmers and Project Liftoff number 3. Well, congratulations to you, Evan, but in the meantime, we've got to find out who else is competing in the 3-pound finals. So, coming your way, we're going to have Mako taking on the Mag. Starting us off, it's Julian Papazian and Mako. He's been running this multi-bot configuration today. Jaren has been driving his friendo, and it's been a really effective strategy. Over on the other side of the arena, they're going to be taking on this horizontal destroyer. It's Derek Tran, and it's the Mag. Derek's been driving beautifully today. The bot has been working in an incredible way. Can he take out this multi-bot onslaught? We're going to go to our friends in the play-by-play booth to find out.
Thank you, Kyle. Let's jump into the tale of the tape.
If you'll allow me.
Absolutely.
I'd love to explain Mako here. My brother Julian from Old Lyme, Connecticut, one of my hometowns where I grew up. He's got a 42-14 NHRL record. Huge number of matches for only having competed for a few years. Skill being labeled as chaos from above, Mako and Julian get credited with shifting the meta towards overhead attack robots, and he's not technically a hammer saw like a lot of the ones we've seen today. He's an overhead saw with a slow-moving servo arm.
And we'll see how it holds up against Mag from Derek Tran coming out of Santa Ana, California. This horizontal spinner is nasty and nigh on bulletproof. A 9-1 record here and bringing all of the talent, skill, and creative design work that comes out of the West Coast robot scene.
I'm going to try not to be too biased in this fight. It might come out a little bit, but I hope it just comes out as excitement because Mako versus Mag, this is a great fight, even if you aren't related to anybody in the cage right now. And hell, I'm not related to Jaron piloting Friendo, the red half of Mako, who's taken on a sort of multi-bot shape this time around.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Away
Robots
we
fight.
go.
Friendo going to lead the charge on the box rush. Try to jam that big plastic TPU wedge into Mag, disable it, line up a pin for Mako to do the Mako thing.
Yeah, big wedges are tough for a robot like Mag to overcome.
Mag being pretty chaotic right now. Shifting that chaos onto Mako and Friendo. I'd like to see Jaren keep that lifter down and try to do the pin and lift that he's been doing earlier.
Oh my goodness.
Unstick called for instantly.
Mag has been skewered into the floor.
Now Mako's doing what Papazian to go. Brett comes in with that fast unstick, does not want Mako and Friendo to stop him from doing their thing. You hear the crowd screaming, what are you gonna do? Is this the kill shot?
This could be the kill shot.
You hear some grinding.
That is a big old slice on the top of Mag.
It's a big cut. Is Mag moving?
Tap out.
There's the
tap out.
Julian group hugging all of Team Pandemonium. I think you see a couple tears in his eyes. I did the same thing when I got into top 2. Julian,
Is this an emotional moment for you, Dima, in the play-by-play room?
Yeah, a little bit. Julian was there with me in the cage piloting the mini-bot when I won my dumpster on Turbo Fiend, but Mako has yet to win a dumpster, though he has made it this far once before. Man, oh man, if he wins...
You're saying it's not a sure thing and anything could happen.
And it's absolutely not a sure thing. I'm just happy he's made it this far. I, personally, would really, really, really wish that I could be there for the grand finals fight against Sir Sicey. He's got to win if he wants that dumpster. But I'm happy to be here, too. I'm happy to be commentating, seeing it from every camera angle here at NHRL. I'm happy to have eyes and ears in the cage, even though I'm not in there myself.
Well, I'm sure we will see a performance excellence just shortly later in the night, but we're going to go to replays of this fight before we get there. Let's take a look.
You said earlier, why all the JDs today in primetime? And part of it is archetypes, I think. Mako, as a multi-bot, is able to do what it wants to do better than it can as a single bot. Pin you for that kill shot that he got right there that you see, directly into the internals of Mag. Find the positioning, use 2 robots to do it, push them into a spot where you can aim that saw safely into something really vulnerable. It wasn't a battery because we didn't see the magic lithium smoke, but it was probably something similar. It was probably a wire got cut, ESC got obliterated somehow, but Mako is not one for, although it has won and lost by JDs, it's not one for them, it's one for KOs. But we're gonna head on over to Sam, who's gonna show us the rest of the 12-pound bracket.
Ooh, it's hard to transition from those amazing 3-pound fights, but we have 12-pound action coming up shortly. Son of Cra versus Bulldon in the big box. I can't wait for this one. Son of Cra avert, Bulldon avert from Brazil. Xenomorph versus Buzzkill, a huge vertical spinner from Xenomorph versus the undercutter from Buzzkill and Team Honeycracked. We just have nothing but good matches left, and I can't wait to see them. Kyle, let's go back to you.
Thank you, Sam. So that's right. We have 2 finals set. The 3-pound and 30-pound divisions have their finalists ready to go, but we still have to find out who is going to be competing for that golden dumpster in the 12-pound bracket, and we have that action coming your way right now. It's in the big box, and it's going to be absolutely insane. So first up, From team, this is gonna be from, actually, that's right. It's gonna be David Small and Son of Cra. David Small coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. This bot's got a storied history and a hard-hitting drum. And from Brazil and Team Robobulls, it's Felipe Silveria and Bulldon. Such a vicious robot drum-on-drum destruction. To call this action, we're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth and find out who goes to the 12-pound finals.
Let's jump in for Son of Cra from David Small. He's coming out of Phoenix, Arizona with a fierce drum spinner. 16-12 record here at NHRL. I know it says determination, but I'm going to throw another one in there. This is an experienced builder. Son of Cra has an incredible history of fine-tuning behind it, and it is a fierce robot.
And I'm a fan of the cool S. However, Bulldon, piloted by Felipe Silveira from Cachoeira de Minas in Brazil, has a 4-0 record at NHRL. At this point, undefeated. And their skill is proven strategy. But what that means, in my personal opinion, is that really solid fundamental design that we keep seeing from these really intelligent, crafty Brazilian engineers. This design, no funny business, no frills, don't even see any decoration besides the color of the weapon, maybe. This robot is a proven design. It's gonna run the vertical beater bar as hard as it can into you, focused purely on the goal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Away we go. Ooh, Son of Cra winning that first exchange handedly, and then slicing up another hit immediately after. Bulldon on its head.
This is the first fight that I've seen Bulldon have where they don't look like they started in total control. Son of Cra, no slouch.
Oh, and is stuck on the wall. Immediate unstick called for and completed. But boy, that was fast. Son of Cra's doing its best to get Bulldon up on the arena wall again.
I thought that weapon might have been down for a second, but it looked like it was just down while they were stuck. Now it's up, and they're maybe trying to use their gyro to get right back up,
and I see smoke coming out of the left-hand side of Bulldon. The drive is starting to struggle and go down. It is not long for this world, Dima. Question is, does it have 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in it?
Maybe it doesn't need all that whole 2 minutes with how this fight is going. They're really butting heads right now. Let's see if Son of Cra can try to put them on the ledge, make them do the thing, get them stuck again, maybe. There's no more unstick left. Maybe control is how this one gets won.
Oh, smoke is coming out in little puffs from the left-hand side of Bulldon.
Yeah, that drive is starting to go. Bulldon's still maneuvering. There it is.
And there it is. That could be worked out of, but I think we're going to have a countdown, and I think it's going for the full 10. You can see referee Jim Haney counting them out.
You can see the drivers both trying to figure out anything they can do. Anything that they can do. Oh.
Son of Cra walking itself into the finals here in the 12-pound class at NHRL.
Handing Bulldon their first loss at NHRL in the semifinals of this stacked, competitive 12-pound bracket.
Impressive showing from both robots, but we got to hand it to Son of Cra. That seemed almost effortless.
That was a dominant performance for sure. In a room full of extremely evenly matched, high-octane bots taking each other out one by one, Son of Cra looked dominant. It looked survivable. It looked like it had the upper hand in a room full of even matches.
Yeah, what's so wild to me here is both of these robots have a full day behind them now of matches that looked very similar on paper. and then you put them together in an arena, and they go head-to-head, and the outcomes are so different.
So many tiny factors that I wish that we had a half an hour to run through some of these matches. There's so many tiny factors that add up. Tiny geometry differences. Weapon-to-weapon engagements where a 5-degree angle might be the difference between one weapon getting smashed out of its weapon assembly sockets or one surviving and going on to the finals. There's so much that happens in this match. I wish I could talk about everything forever and ever. But once the match is over, we get to see the crew scrape out all the debris from the cage, from the robots themselves, and from the cage getting chewed up by these vicious vertical spinners.
I am so impressed. And you know, for a couple of robots with that much damage potential, that was a modest amount of wood chips. I think we got out lucky on that one, team.
Yeah, modest is how I'd put it. There's been a lot of cage damage today from some chaotic bots with really strong weapons. They're never afraid to run it into wood. They're running it into 10 times, million times stronger materials today. Aluminum, titanium, AR500, AR600. But we're going to hand it over to Kyle, who's going to show us these last semifinalists.
All right, that's right. We just have one semifinal fight left to find out who will be competing for that 12-pound golden dumpster against David Small and Son of Cra. And first up, from Ohio, it's David Dreyer, and it is Xenomorph. It's alien, it's vicious, it's massive. This huge robot only weighs 12 pounds, and he has been killing it with this giant weapon all day. And over on the other side of the arena, representing the Leatherbacks and Team Honeycrack, it's Liam King and Buzzkill. To call this action, we're gonna go to Dima and Ricky in the play-by-play booth.
Right into the play-by-play. We've got Xenomorph from David Dreyer, Willoughby, Ohio native with a vertical spinner, one of the nastiest in the 12-pound class. A 7-1 record so far, and again, that weapon is just massive. It's damaging, it spins up fast. Truly a formidable foe.
On the other hand, we have Buzzkill, piloted by Liam King out of California, Maryland. Another Marylander for you, Ricky. He's got a horizontal spinner, but a lot of the strength in this robot doesn't even necessarily lie in its weapon, even though the weapon is extremely strong. A lot of it relies in the defense of that big plow and the nimble drive and its ability to win the ground game. It is really good at maneuvering around its opponents, but Xenomorph is really, really big.
It's true. If you look at the front wedge shape of Buzzkill, that entire front of the robot, that entire front wedge fits neatly within the front of Xenomorph. It's completely encapsulated, a big bear hug. So the only question is going to be, does the weapon on the front of Xenomorph have the ability to get under the front of Buzzkill? If so, Buzzkill's going to go flying over and over again. If not,
Xenomorph might go flying over and over again.
Exactly.
And you said this is billeted steel on Buzzkill?
4, 3, 2.
A hardened steel on the front.
Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go.
Xenomorph eschews all that armor for getting in your face with the biggest weapon it can fit on the robot.
Oh, and this is excellent driving from Buzzkill. We've already proven in this match that Xenomorph can get under Buzzkill, but if Buzzkill's able to drive to either left or right, oh, look at that, that is a bad place to be.
It's exactly how Buzzkill drew it up, used the maneuverability to get around them. Xenomorph sacrifices armor on the front, side, and back for a big weapon and having that size to bear hug you. But if it doesn't get to bear hug you, and it gets knocked around like this is how Xenomorph can lose.
This is really impressive. Xenomorph's proven it can do what it needs to do, but only if it can drive like that. And now the weapon is starting to falter a little, and the drive on Xenomorph is starting to go down as they get kicked across the arena into the corner. Can they self-right before they get damaged even more by Buzzkill's powerful weapon?
The Undercutters gets to knock itself into an unspinning weapon, a vulnerable weapon. Let's see if that damage hurt the functionality.
They've called for an unstick. Oh, and smoke and fire is broken out. Buzzkill has dealt a deadly blow on its opponent. Xenomorph is ablaze, and this match will be going to Buzzkill momentarily.
Xenomorph is reminiscent of a Xenomorph dying by fire, perhaps. The fire extinguisher comes out.
Xenomorphs don't like flamethrowers, much less on the inside of their bodies.
They sure don't.
The count out, the perfunctory count out.
Crowd going nuts for this one.
Work. That driving was excellent. I mean, truly excellent.
Knockout.
That is just incredible.
That was some of the most beautiful driving I've ever seen. Not just today, just in all of Robots. Even before I said, how do you beat Xenomorph? You gotta get around him. Let's see it in the replay. Xenomorph took the first turn, so to speak, and got those first big hits. Said, I'm gonna bully you, but how do you beat that bully? You gotta smack him right back. Used Xenomorph's maybe deceptively low maneuverability and its gyro to put it up onto the ledge. And once it was on the ledge, a lot of free hits added up.
You know, I have to apologize. I thought this was all going to be about weapon geometry, but I think Liam King knew better. He was able to drive that robot perfectly and just stay out of the weapon's reach. Even though the geometry was there for the damage to be done, he was able to avoid it and deal the damage himself. And this is what you get.
The tail of the tape told us what's Buzzkill's strength here, and what can they play to? What outs can they play to? Nimble drive. And that's just not the robot. That's the nimble mind of the driver being able to analyze those angles and figure out where to go and when.
Really impressive work.
Looks like we're going to kick it over to Sam, interviewing the driver of Xenomorph right here.
Yes, thank you, Dima. I am here with David from Xenomorph, and David, this tournament kind of ended the same way as your last one. You want to talk me through finishing in flames?
Yeah, I gotta stop Jake coming down with me, honestly. Every time he's near me, my bot somehow catches in flames. But I'll be honest, with the run today, I couldn't be more happy. And honestly, if you're gonna go out, that's the way to go out, right? I don't like having all this experience of bots catching on fire, but maybe maybe I could take it to finals and win and then catch on fire again. That would be a good.
That would be third time's a charm, but
yeah,
you've had 2 tournaments with Xenomorph and 2 deep runs. We will see you in December.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, and back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Sam. Yeah, second time out for Xenomorph. Makes it to the semi-finals with a banger of a match against Liam King. You can't complain about that outcome. We're going to see David Dreyer again. We're going to see him at the World Championships. But Liam King, that driving skill is just unparalleled. Amazing matchup for him when he had a disadvantage in weapon type, for sure. In the meantime, we've got a special message about our Havoc Academy, and we're going to go to that right now.
All right, we're in the pits here for our latest tournament, and it just so happens that Hope, the designer of Deadly Cute, is here, so we're gonna go ahead and give her an Eric kit and a Deadly Cute kit for her to put together. So come on, let's do it.
God.
All right, hello, Hope.
Hi.
Hi. So thank you so much for designing Deadly Cute. You did a wonderful job on the drawing.
Thanks. I actually had an original. My mom has a picture of it. I don't know where she is right now, but I can show it to you later.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. But you know what? I just wanted to make sure that you could build your own Deadly Cute. So we have an Eric kit here for you. And inside Deadly Cute is all that special Deadly Cute parts. So you can build an Eric, and then you can build a Deadly Cute, or you can do whatever you want with it.
I heard you were gonna do doll eyes, and I'm like, no, thank you.
And then here's your Eric kit. And you know what? I happened to find this photo of you as well. Do you remember taking that? That was a while ago.
That was my tiny itty bitty robot.
Well, I'm excited to see your next robot.
I'm going to show my dad that, and he's going to scream.
All right, well, this is yours too.
I'm not sure how much I can carry.
You got it all. That was fun. That was heartwarming. It feels good to get robots in the hands of kids. They're our future engineers. And make sure you draw your own dream bot when you're here at NHRL, and it just might get built.
Oh, that was wholesome and lovely. All right, we've got our first golden dumpster of the evening coming your way. Yeah, that's right, but we're gonna see how we got to this point. So we're gonna go over to Sam with our 3-pound bracket. Sam, take it away.
Thank you so much. You can see at the top here we have Sir Slicey, but to follow their journey, they took on the hammer saw of the wall. And then, one of the best matches of the day versus Project Liftoff. I don't know if I've seen more roof shots in a fight. They are going up against Mako, who's had their own run, going against the hammer saw of Usagi, and then taking on the horizontal spinner of Mag, getting them stuck in our floor, and it all comes down to Sir Slicey and Mako, and we're gonna send it up to the pits with you, Richard.
Yeah, speak of the shark, and he appears. We've got the Mako table, and they're making some last-minute adjustments. Didn't seem like a whole lot. You literally told me, Jared, that we just got to charge some batteries.
Yeah, pretty much. The major damage we took was just to the wedge mounts, which we're not reusing in this fight. We're switching to forks. I think Mako had some debris that had to be cleared out, and other than that, we're more or less good to go.
But for you, you came up here after that last fight pretty fired up. Like, how are you feeling now going into the next one?
I'm feeling pretty good. Mag's a very heavy-hitting horizontal, so it was good to be able to bully it around. And Sir Slicey's another really heavy-hitting robot, and so I'm excited to really put both of our driving styles to the test to see how we can handle that beast of a robot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think everybody is. This is going to be one of those heavyweight fights at the 3-pound. Best of luck, man.
Thank you.
It's fun to watch you guys. All right, we're going to send it back down to you.
Gotta ask, Dima, you might be the third best person in this building to comment on this. What do you think of that situation in the pits?
Mako repairs are something I'm intimately familiar with, and it's certainly weirder than a lot of other bots because Mako is a weird robot. It's an overhead saw. It's not a hammer saw. It's got a servo you got to worry about, the arm itself, the wires, the tightening of the saw, which is typically different than how weapons are normally attached to their weapon assembly. It's got that big sort of floppy banana shape. It's got TPU. Don't have to worry about hard parts getting bent, but you might have to worry about reassembling the bot over and over and over again with fresh printed cheap TPU parts. Like what Jaron just said, clearing debris is a pretty important part. You got to use an air gun typically to blow the bot that you just chewed up. Its components, its dust, typically gets lodged in Mako. And it's really important to get that dust out of there so it doesn't get lodged in your sensitive electrical components, not in the ESC, not inside of the gearboxes of the motors themselves, or anything like that. But Julian and Jaron seem pretty confident that Mako didn't need too many repairs going into this. So let's see how fresh they really are against Sir Slicey. On the other hand, let's see how fresh Sir Slicey is after that Project Liftoff fight.
That was a lot of damage in a small period of time. Sir Slicey could be very sore after that fight.
See how many... When we get this far in a bracket, all the way to finals, it does start to add up how many copies of each part motor that you had ready to go. But we're going to kick it over to Kyle, who's going to get us ready for the 3-pound finals.
We are finally ready for a golden dumpster. That's right, it's Evan Bimji and his insane vertical spinner, Sir Slicey, having the driving night of his life. He is coming out. He's ready to go. He's looking for a dumpster. First time in the finals, and that bot's looking vicious. And on the other side, that's right, we have Julian Papazian with the shark, Mako. This is an overhead attack. Saw bot, no hammer, just saw. He's got Jaron and Friendo coming out with him. He's ready to do some damage, and he's ready to take home that coveted 3-pound golden dumpster. To call this action, we're gonna go to his sister. That's right, she's not biased at all. Dima Papazian and our friend Ricky in the play-by-play booth.
Thanks so much, Kyle. I'm going to start with Sir Slicey. Evan Bimji is coming in here from Lancaster, Massachusetts. This unique Drisk is just one of the most formidable 3-pound weapons we have here at NHRL. A 17-5 record showing off just how effective it can be. And that nifty angle on that weapon has let it deliver some of the most intense hits we've seen ever in the 3-pound class here at NHRL.
We've seen Mako before, but the skill has been adjusted to a more accurate representation of what it's doing alongside its buddy Friendo. It's lift and cut. We said before it's going to look for those one-hit KOs with the overhead saw, look for those critical hits. But to do that, it's going to use 2 pounds of lifter on the other side to try to get them in the corner, prop them up, get their wheels or their weapon off the ground, and make them as vulnerable as possible for Mako's overhead saw to get a big shark bite out of them. I'll try not to be too biased. I'm a big fan of Evan, too. I'm a big fan of Sir Slicey and their other robots, Sir Spinny. That whole family is lovely and has been lovely to me throughout the years I've been competing in combat robotics. But you know who's been even lovelier to me? My big brother.
Aww.
Yeah.
I can't even say anything fun to that. All I can do is go, aww.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a really cool guy. He shares my sense of humor, looks and sounds kind of exactly like me. I do have a little bit of FOMO not being in grand finals with Mako. I've been there before, piloting a mini-bot with Mako. But Jaren is a great sort of semi-theoretically adoptive sibling in my place. Well, now it feels like Julian has more siblings than I do.
Ooh, that's a tough trade-off. But
it's a weird feeling.
You get to be here. You get to have a whole new set of siblings with the NHRL broadcast team. And we're happy to have you in here, even if it means you can't be ringside for this incredible fight. It does seem like something's going on. Something might be awry. I'm seeing the door open. What's going on?
It looks like they might be turning power cycling, maybe? I'm not sure.
Potentially, yeah. It looks like Friendo is having a little bit of trouble.
Hope it's not a transmitter issue.
Oh, I see some percussive maintenance going on. Oh, that looks like a dying power switch, Dima. Will it be enough?
I sure hope so. My fingers are crossed. I really don't want this to turn into a non-fight in grand finals. It's like we're closing the door and seeing if the power cycling worked. It's a shame we don't get the Twitch test without that.
There you are.
Crowd goes nuts too. Let's go! Everybody's working. We're gonna get a real fight in grand finals. I quite literally can hardly contain my excitement.
What's interesting, though, the other half of Mako is not in its starting corner.
I think they might have driven away just to make space for the maintenance, but I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, until it's in that corner, I'm not going to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I maybe spoke too soon.
All right, while we figure this out downstairs, we're going to head up. We've got a frantic situation in the pits. Jubileu doing absolutely everything they can do to get this robot prepared for its next fight. They are rapidly running out of time. But you know, a weapon lock going on, that's a good sign. They're in the reassembly, not the disassembly stage. If anyone can pull it off, it's these ladies and gentlemen. Let's head back to cage 2. I think, yes, I'm hearing that they are ready to go.
Looks like they're...
Oh goodness. That half of the robot has been removed from the arena. We are well past the 1 minute mark, so we are now in the final moments. You have only 3 minutes to make any repairs.
Wish I could hear what was being said. And it looks...
Loose wires. This is going to be really tight. Even if they can fix this, they got to make sure that the robot's back in the arena, the doors are closed, and everything is buttoned up in time, or this could be a disqualification.
It was working a second ago, but then you're right, we didn't see the other half working, but I don't know what the deal is. It might be a pairing issue. It might be that one transmitter's pairing to the wrong half. I got no clue. I didn't work on Friendo.
It's really hard to say. They're going to try and put it back together, but you can see the timer is running down. They have 49 seconds remaining.
Those are two fast repairs.
I hear Sam is cage side. Sam, can you give us some information?
Yes, so
The top plate is going back on. The power cycle seemed to do it on its own at first, so they checked that battery connection. Now the top plate is back on. The robot's back in the box, and we're going to see if that fix sticks.
The other half of Mako hasn't moved in a couple minutes. I sure hope that one's doing fine. It hasn't unpaired in the meantime or something. And then, fingers are crossed, Ricky.
Wow, this is incredible. Mako, again, we were saying earlier, has never dumpstered, but has gotten to this point before. They've gotten to the finals. They've just never cinched it. They've come to so many events. More than 60% of NHRL events since Mako was generated have been attended by this team and this robot. What a moment. What a do or die moment. And I'm not seeing any movement in the blue corner.
Not seeing any movement from anybody. What's going on? Ricky, I'm scared.
I can't blame you. I'm on the edge of my seat. Almost literally. I actually am reclined, but I am nervous. Oh, hey, at least one half is functioning.
That's working.
If that half is functioning, this fight can go on. They do not have to fight with both halves, but...
Sure hope they get to.
I sure hope they get to as well. It would be a much more representative fight.
My fingers are crossed. My fingers are very, very crossed.
Fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed. We're doing our best over here to will this into existence.
All right, the decision's been made. We can proceed with the... That guy out? Well, it is just the weapon. So just the weapon.
Hearing a sort of deliberation where they're making a decision.
Very interesting. You can see the judges are going through this process. A robot without an active weapon, even a half a robot without an active weapon, cannot be in the arena and must be removed. They're trying to figure out what functions, what doesn't, and whether or not this fight can proceed, and if so, which halves of the robot are allowed to be in the robot arena for the fight.
Clenching my fists, really hoping that both parts of Mako get to fight.
Of course, it only benefits the drivers. If one of these halves of the robots are down, you want to remove it. Otherwise, you start with 50% damage. But...
You know, yeah, but if we're going for KOs, I don't know what other option you got.
Well, you just pull half of it out if it's not functioning in any way. But...
Yeah, I see some weird argument for using it as a sort of meat shield.
Yeah, if it plays to your driving style and it's worth the 50% damage out of the gate, it's possible. You've got that option.
Tough decisions must be made. Really,
but again, that's only if the weapon works. If the weapon doesn't work, it's got to get out of there.
It's like they're going back to deliberate. Really hope that this doesn't come down to just an electrical issue with the weapon. We've been fortunate not to have that sort of thing happen yet, where gremlins interfere with these amazing matches in prime time. Hearing the crowd chant, "Let them fight," and Friendo is moving it, right? It might just be the weapon, but I don't know. Maybe power cycling might help. I don't know. Maybe not be allowed to.
It's a great question. I'm thinking about even checking in here and seeing what's going on.
Biting my cue card right now.
A lot of deliberation going on.
This would be sad to see because last time Mako was in grand finals, it did lose to Knuckle Sandwich because its weapon wasn't working. They're pouring through the rulebook right now. Cage side staff are quite literally trying to figure out what to do by going into the rules right now. I have Ricky doing the same right next to me. I'm shaking. Decision is being explained right now.
All right, I'm going to jump cage side just to double check.
All right, we can keep me yapping. Looks like the cage door's being opened. Something is going to get... Mako's being moved. Looks like Friendo might be coming out. I'm not totally sure. It was moving. I thought I saw the lifter move. I thought I saw the lifter move when it was getting power cycle, but I'm not totally sure. Maybe not. Oh, this is really going to be a situation where Mako's got to fight half of its weight? Half of its weight, half of its bots? Not feeling good about this one. Mako's been able to use its 2-on-1 advantage for this entire bracket up to this point, and now it doesn't have the ability to do that. Sacrificing weight to make a multi-bot means it doesn't have armor.
3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
Drive your heart out, big brother. This is a new kind of underdog story. Make it happen. Mako seems to be winning the control, but that's not a kill shot. You got to be careful. You can't run that saw directly into Sir Slicey's very strong, nifty angled weapon. It's just a suicide mission for a generic saw blade off Amazon, which, by the way, is what Mako's saw blade is. Mako's getting bounced around now. Here's the Metal Force, no Metal Force coming into action. All right. 2 minutes left, but because Mako has less armor, that damage from these hits is going to add up, and I'm not sure Mako is going to be able to get that kill shot that it really wants. Though it might have to...
Wow, look at that hit. What a moment for me to jump back in. Mako headed skyward.
Trying anyway. Lodged in the house spot. Able to get free.
And the weapon's still spinning, doing a nice little slice there.
Is this entanglement?
Wow, look at that. It is stuck in the plastic of Mako. They're embedded. We're going to get a little house spot action going in to try and free him.
Mako's trying to do damage while trying to make this work in his favor. Looks like it might be, maybe get something in the drive side.
All right, the match has been paused. They're going to try to make their way over to the door.
Man, why does this always happen to us?
Could be something to do with that chewy bubblegum exterior, Dima.
Like that, like on my person, or?
I don't know personally. You seem toned. I'm gonna assume that that's not the case, and it's just the robot.
I'm pretty gummy. Cage doors are gonna get opened again. With how much has happened, for how long this fight took to get started, and power cycling, etc., I gotta wonder what the battery of both these robots is looking like right now.
This has got to be torturous for everyone's nerves. I'm also seeing a split on the front of Mako. Electronics are starting to spill out towards the front of the robot. That is a tasty target.
Weapon lock is going on before we do the entanglement? Before we bring the crowbars out?
That is the right thing to do in this case. Since that weapon can spin freely, regardless of the entanglement situation, you make it safe first, and then you pull them apart.
We hear a lot of cheers from Julian in the crowd. He is a fan favorite, and Mako is a fan favorite, but it's not like this. He's missing 2 pounds.
That is the gamble that you take with a multi-bot. You never know when you're going to have to go solo all of a sudden.
I hear a crowd member saying it's not over till he's in 2 pieces. I think the he might be doing a little double action there. I think somebody might be getting bisected.
Still anybody's game at this point. Working hard to get these two separated. Goodness.
See some vulnerable wires coming out.
Those two are just proper entangled. Goodness gracious.
Crowbar and pliers are going on Sir Slicey's weapon. I hope that doesn't turn out to be disadvantage. I hope
there you go. The drivers will unsafety their robots, remove the weapon locks, and we can get this match back underway.
Let's get this show on the road, folks. Mako had some control early, but it looks like that damage started. I think I might have seen a puff of smoke. Did I imagine that? Am I seeing?
Demon, you need to take a deep breath.
I'm trying.
Are we starting right there, or?
Little 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Doesn't work if you say it 100 miles an hour, but here we go.
Sicey spinning right up and trying to get back in the action as fast as they can. Looks like Mako's forks might be bent from that disentanglement.
Yeah, and the left side jive is down as well. Sicey having its way with Mako.
Oh, I've seen this happen before.
Ooh, a little pirouette.
See the crowd chanting for Sicey. I think there's still about a minute left in this fight.
It's hard to tell once you get past that unentanglement.
Looks like I'm hearing some dual chants.
Oh, I see some wiring has come loose. It is now laying on the ground. Yeah, that is the wiring for Mako's weapon. So their arm is working, but that spinner is not going to be a factor in the rest of this match. We've got just under 40 seconds left. And the question at this point is Sicey going to be able to make this a KO?
30 seconds left. I might cry a little, just a little.
Mako staying impressively mobile. 20 seconds left. Boy, he's trying.
Fight to the bitter end.
Fight to the bitter end.
My
coming
big brother.
down on 10 seconds. This will be going to the judges in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think there's any mystery in how that fight turned out, but I gotta tell you, Julian fought till the bitter end. Mako coming back and said, let me bite you in the kneecaps. But Sicey is going to be taking home a hard-earned and well-deserved win for that performance in the 3-pound class.
Julian, ever the sportsman, going over, giving Evan that hug that he deserves. This is Evan's night for sure. Now I can breathe a little bit.
Let's jump right back into the replay. Sicey winning so many of these exchanges from so early. Mako getting a couple of good moves and then just getting the punches spit back in their face, going flying. The entanglement didn't do them any favors. One of their forks getting sucked in to the front of their opponent, and the two of them eventually being pulled out together.
Getting a nice little replay segment of that crowbar, seeing just how tough it is to wrestle these robots out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, it looks chewy, it looks gummy on camera, but this is tough plastic that these things are made of, getting sucked into hardened pieces of metal. It's no joke getting them torn apart once that they're stuck together.
All right, so as we see these competitors getting their safeties on, getting their bots ready, awaiting this judge's decision, I just have some interesting facts that you might want to chew on. In the history of the National Havoc Robot League, there have been 4 competitors under the age of 18, well, 3 competitors under the age of 18 that have ever won a golden dumpster. Alex Richmond, Lars Elliott, and Bryce Kankastis. If this competition goes the way that we think it's going to go tonight, if the judge's decision happens the way that we think it's going to happen, an important piece of information for you to have is that Evan Bimji is only 13 years old, and he has had the driving night of his life and a Sicey that has been working better than it ever has. Amazing showing from him. So we have a judge's decision coming your way very shortly. We're going to go to Sam to give that to you. Sam, what do you got here?
We're waiting on a judge's decision for some reason, and we're just waiting, eager. Here it comes. Any moment now. The anticipation. Right here. Any moment. No one knows which way this is gonna go.
Why is it taking more than 5
No one knows why it's taking more than 5 seconds, but here we go. Right now, on your screen, about to appear, it's the JD. It's coming up. Oh, and if you look behind me, it's Sir Slicey, your November 2025 NHRL 3-pound champion, Evan Bimji. Evan. Amazing run today. What was the key to your success?
It was his driving. He was on point all day long. He did great. Right, Evan?
Well, incredible job. And Evan, you just have one job left today, and that's to hold this trophy high.
13 years old, taking home one of the most coveted prizes in combat robotics. Evan Bimji having the night of his young life tonight. Absolutely incredible win for that 3-pound golden dumpster. And he's punched his ticket to the World Championships next month right here in the House of Havoc, where we will crown the 2025 World Champions in all 3 weight classes, the winners of the very coveted and rare Golden Brett. That was an amazing driving scene from him all day long. Evan Bimji, he's got reflexes that are to be envied across the board. Amazing machine, but that driving prowess, his dad called it, was incredible. We have 2 more golden dumpsters to give out tonight in the 12-pound and 30-pound brackets. We've got some very interesting competitors. So first up, in the 30-pound division, that's right, it's Joshua Reinhardt. And it's Kazaa Lite. She doesn't have her fire. No, she's got sharp, pokey sticks and a lot of determination and a secret weapon all the way from Texas. And their opponent from Team Warrior from Brazil, it is Jubileu. 20 years of combat robotics history. Warrior is here to show the American competitors what they can do, and what they do is not very nice. We're gonna go to the play-by-play booth to call this 30-pound action. Ricky and Dima, take it away.
Thank you so much. We're gonna jump right into the tail of the tape. Joshua Reinhardt bringing Kazaa Lite from Norwich, Connecticut. He's using red-hot heat plugs to try and pierce his opponent and melt its insides. With a 21-8 record, Joshua has brought a supreme level of adaptability, being creative both in his design and in his driving skills. He's gonna be going up against
Nicolas with Jubileu, out of Brazil, with a 9-3 record at NHRL right now, and determination is right. Made it this far in an international trip to try to win that golden dumpster in the 30-pound bracket. Let's see if all of that iteration, all of that engineering, all of that collaboration, all of that community and skill is able to put enough force into that big red weapon to put the dents in Kazaa Lite's multi-bot wedges. Let's see if the unstoppable force can do anything to the immovable objects. That's a cliche, but they're cliches for a reason, aren't they?
Little bit. I gotta tell you, this is really gonna be an impressive fight. You can see the forks have been removed from the front of Kazaa Lite, and I think that's a wise move. But you can also see the weapons are very exposed on the top of Kazaa Lite, and they need to be used. They can't just sit inside the robot. They cannot simply be a wedge for the rest of this fight. They need to be able to strike and do damage to score the aggression and control points that we're trying to put forth here to win this fight. I also just, well, let's let the fight start.
2, 1. Fight. Robots fight.
Away we go. Kazaa Lite not moving from their starting corner. Is this a false start? Perhaps it's a false start. False start. Okay, no harm, no foul, neither robot. May have been a communication error here. Neither robot contacted each other, so they'll get another shot at this. It's funny. We've got Jubileu has come almost 5,000 miles, 4,726 miles to be here. Kazaa Lite got in the car and drove 86 miles. They were one of the closest competitors going up against the literal farthest competitor we have here. We're going to see who has to buy an extra airplane ticket for their golden dumpster in just a few minutes.
I feel so spoiled. 86 miles? It's not even close for me. I'm less than 50 miles away from here. Like I said earlier, I'm so spoiled being so close to NHRL.
2, 1. Fight.
Away we go.
Fight.
It's slow spin up from Jubileu. Excellent bullying from Kazaa Lite, but I haven't seen that weapon come into engagement yet.
Absolutely not. Jubileu is trying to do their best. There's that pin.
That pin. They're going to hold it best they can.
There's those glow plugs are coming up. You see there's a little bit.
But I don't see the glow plugs glowing.
Oh.
They may well not be functioning.
Wonder if they did step into the arena with a semi-functional weapon. With the arm working, but not the plugs.
The arm is not enough. They do need to actually be able to pierce and do some damage.
They might be able to finagle a way to do damage to Kazaa's weapon by pushing it up against the wall, pushing it up against Brett, smashing it with their own wedges. We'll see. They might be able to score that damage, but you're right. They won't be able to score that aggression if they can't use that weapon.
Exactly. Oh, this is interesting. We don't see this very often from Kazaa Lite. Both of them attacking simultaneously with the wedges. Normally we see one pin and the other attack. Oh, we see some smoke coming out. I think that's a slipping belt.
The arms are coming out. I see more smoke.
I do see more smoke. That ladies
looks like
and gentlemen,
Kazaa's.
that was a weapon usage. That was burning the underside of Jubileu. Oh, but I see, look at that. There's batteries dangling. That weapon is now down on one half of Kazaa Lite. That's serious damage for the judges to take into consideration at the end of this fight.
We only got a minute 15 left. Plenty has happened.
But now drive is starting to go down on one half. It's still functioning, but it is struggling on half of Jubileu.
Damage is accumulating for sure. It's hard to stay perfectly invincible in the 30-pound bracket when you're up against the killers from Brazil.
Down under a minute remaining. Kazaa Lite driving fantastically.
Jubileu looks like it has a drive side down too.
Yeah, it is struggling now. But Kazaa Lite now, the one half is starting to struggle with its drive.
40 seconds might not seem like a long time. Still anybody's game, I think.
Yeah, this could go either way.
Looks like Jubileu is getting some chunky hits on the top of Kazaa.
Oh, and the weapon has been completely removed from the top of that half.
Severed.
A great pin, though. Turnaround is fair play.
That's a good band name.
It's gotta be a band name. Somebody must have beat me to that one.
Unmoving.
Oh, unmoving at the end of this fight.
You don't want to. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
We get to show some movement to the judges. Thank goodness.
Okay, I see one weapon completely gone. I see another weapon looking mostly intact, but I can't tell if it's glowing or not. You have half of a drive side down. Oh, 2 damaged drive sides on Kazaa Lite. This is close. I don't see any glowing weapon on either half of Kazaa Lite. The judges are going to need to look really close here. We're going to go to a replay. Let's take a look and see what happened. I mean, you got to hand it the control here. 10 out of 10, or close to 10 out of 10. to Kazaa Lite. Fantastic work keeping the pace of this match under control.
The only way it could have been better is if they really sustained truly no damage, but when you're up against something as threatening as Jubileu, yeah, you lost one of your glow plugs. I would be happy I just didn't get KO'd, you know what I mean?
Right, right. I mean, there was more damage than that on Kazaa Lite. They did lose basically 2 drive sides, and I think both weapons are down.
Yeah, I was a little bit shorthanding the damage to the
fair.
most spectacular part.
That's a great point. Yeah, that beheading was something to behold for sure.
Even though they got a small little ostrich head, it was still a beheading.
I like that. Yeah, it's an ostrich head. It's
compared to
petite. It's the opposite of like a pit bull situation.
You got the overhead arms.
We're gonna head over to Kyle. Kyle, what do you got to tell us here?
You know, I gotta tell you guys, I never try to have favorites, especially when it comes to the Golden Dumpster. But for the vibes, I really want this judge's decision to come out to Jubileu, because there is no party like a Brazilian party when they go home with a golden dumpster. It is all about the passion. It is all about the love of the game with these guys, and they celebrate a win better than anybody else in the sport. And you can see they are getting their safety mechanisms on right now, awaiting that judge's decision. Joshua Reinhardt has had an excellent day today. He has been driving like a madman, improvising with a completely different weapon type. Since fire was not allowed in the big cages, he was able to pull it out with something completely different. He's already punched his ticket to the World Championships. So we're excited for him. We want him to come home with a dumpster if he can, but he's already punched that ticket. Yeah, there you can hear it. Everybody's coming over here now, getting ready for that judge's decision to see who can win the coveted 30-pound golden dumpster for the November edition of the National Havoc Robot League Open Qualifiers. Yeah, let's go broomsticks. I didn't know this was a thing, but there's signs and brooms and... All right. Yeah. All right. All right, we're going to go over to Sam, who's got the 2 competitors in that 30-pound final.
I sure do, Kyle. I got them both here with me, Kazaa Lite and Jubileu. And, well, I've heard that the judge's decision is already in. And so we're just going to have to wait and see. And here it is, your winner of today's tournament, Jubileu! Jubileu! Amazing, amazing. After all that journey, what does this golden dumpster mean to you?
Oh, I'm very happy. It was very hard to come to Brazil from United States. And we have a hard day with other bots, but Jubileu make everything good, and I'm very happy.
Well, there's just one thing left to do. I think you might need a free hand, because here is your golden dumpster. Leo, hold it high.
For the vibes, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredible. They are still celebrating behind me. So happy for that team. So proud of Team Warrior. That was amazing. What a driving match for them there at the end. They have been absolutely incredible all day. Yeah. Just letting him bask in that. All right, we've got one dumpster left to give out tonight. It's the most competitive 12-pound bracket in the entire world. And first up, it's David Small. It's the Son of Cra! David Small looking unstoppable all day today, but he's going up against one of the best drivers in the game. That's right, it's Liam King. And it's Buzzkill. Liam King putting on a clinic with a weapon, without a weapon, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you got, he's gonna win it. To call this action, we're gonna go to our friends in the play-by-play booth. Ricky and Dima, let's go.
You're done tootin', we're gonna call this, Kyle, but first, the tail of the tape. Up first is Son of Cra, David Small, bringing this incredible drum spinner all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, with a 17-12 record. This is one of the most experienced drivers and one of the most tuned and optimized machines in our tournament here today, with a legacy that predates most of the competitors in this building's robot careers. He's gonna be going up against
Buzzkill by Liam King from California, Maryland. I get to steal another Marylander from you. An undercutter as opposed to a mid-cutter or overcutter, with a 35-17 record here at NHRL. Nearly double the wins that Son of Cra has. Son of Cra is a very experienced driver in Liam Small, but Liam King is a very proficient driver in his own right. So let's see if he can make Buzzkill's nimble drive work for him this time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
Away we go.
So Buzzkill is getting
a big hit there from Buzzkill on Son of Cra.
First blood has been spilled. Instead of just the kill chance from the crowd that we've been getting today, we're getting the Buzzkill chance.
It's got a heck of a buzz right now. Someone's weapon is a little funky.
This is that maneuverability coming into play. He's running circles around him.
Literally.
Son of Cra flipping and spinning on his side like he has a tendency to do today. Hasn't really hurt him yet.
Dima, that's Buzzkill's weapon that's spinning. That you can hear it.
Oh, I meant Son of Cra going on the side.
Oh,
but yeah.
I know, but I just got to point out, both of these weapons are making funny noises. You've got Buzzkill sounding like a weed whacker, and you've got Son of Cra shooting sparks here and there. I know it looks like both of these robots are together, but I think both of them are about one good hit away from exploding.
I would agree with you.
Speaking of exploding, the armor being torn off the side of Son of Cra.
This is how it starts, Ricky. This is that damage adding up. You're starting to lose pieces. It becomes easy to lose more pieces.
The beginning of the end. Big sparks flying there.
Buzzkill looking tough. Buzzkill looking unfazed. Son of Cra looking a little phased.
We've seen the weapon pop off of Buzzkill before. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again, but these blows it's dishing out are just punishing. Oh my God!
There it is, there it is. More pieces.
More pieces, and yet Son of Cra is still handily driving around the arena.
Those arm guards came off, the wheels were vulnerable, and they took some damage. They're off the robot now, but Son of Cra isn't giving up. Maneuvering as best as it can, using gyro to its advantage, trying to get its weapon into Buzzkill as best as it can.
If anything, the driving has only gotten more impressive from Son of Cra after that terrible turn of fate.
David just playing the game exactly how he's been playing it for the last 2 minutes. Drive a circle around him, hit him.
Oh, that is a dangerous place to be.
It's not where you want to be. Unstick called for. Go in for a hit. Gonna get unstuck anyway. Might as well be you that does it.
Just over 30 seconds remaining in this match.
It's not looking good for Son of Cra. I know anything can happen, but this is looking like it might be Buzzkill's dumpster. I don't want to call it too soon. Don't want to curse anybody.
The Son of Cra being ripped limb from limb. It's hard to see a way back in the last 13 seconds of this match.
Son of Cra, use the power of the Cool S. Make something happen as best as you can. Fight to the bitter end.
3, 2, 1. This match will be going to the judges. But boy, I don't think there's an ounce of mystery in this arena right now. A dominant performance from Liam King and Team Honeycracked. Talk about Maryland pride. I think they're going to be walking home with a fresh, new golden dumpster in just a couple of minutes.
Let's see if they can celebrate as hard as the Brazilians just did.
Let's not talk crazy, okay?
You're right. You're right. Boy, you're right. I am so... What a fight to end on, too. Just a masterclass.
Let's jump right back into the replays. We can see how this all came together and how it all fell apart for Son of Cra. You can see the weapon, or rather the armor on the side package already being torn off. Another big hit, and there the wheels becoming loose, and then finally falling off entirely.
They just spun right off. There's nothing holding them in place anymore.
No, it was hopes and dreams holding it together, and someone let a little bit of that hope die tonight, along with Son of Cra's dreams of a November golden dumpster here at NHRL.
That's exactly what I said, Ricky. Once pieces start coming off, that might be the beginning of the end. If you can't match some damage or aggression on the other side, once something falters, the rest might start to falter too. If you keep getting hit.
Sometimes it's like a weak link in a long chain and it just all falls apart. We didn't see that. Huge credit to David Small. Son of Cra kept kicking. It fought to the bitter end of that fight. It just was not enough to do appreciable damage on Buzzkill, and almost certainly not enough to cinch the win.
That was a beautiful fight to the bitter end indeed. Gladiatorial to lose pieces and keep moving on. But oh my goodness, Buzzkill, some of the best driving I've ever seen, period. I don't know.
Liam is locked in this event.
There's so many good drivers in the 12-pound weight class. Is Liam best of the best? He's certainly among them, for sure. At least in my opinion.
It's like walking into a pantheon and saying, who here is a god? Well, turns out a whole lot of people here are robotic experts. And they've earned those skills over months, years, sometimes decades of fighting. What is so impressive about Liam King, he's done it over a comparatively very short period of time.
These fights have been legendary, and when the fights are legendary, the people and the robots become legends too. And that's one of the beauties of the sport is, like you said, a pantheon. I think we might be about to crown a new god of the 12-pound division.
Any moment now, Sam can tell us if, in fact, that crown is going to descend
Love to,
from on high.
but we're still waiting on this judge's decision. And once it's on our screen, oh, I hear it's ready. All right, here it is, your 12-pound November champion here at NHRL, and it is Liam King and Buzzkill. You showed an incredible ability to adapt to your opponent throughout this tournament. What do you credit that to?
I don't know. I think I said the same thing last time, but just all my supportive friends. I couldn't have done it without all my friends from Team Defective, Team Honeycrack, and the Leatherbacks. You know, I couldn't have done it without any of them and all their support, helping me in the pits. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to here after the fight against Minan and Plusle, so maybe they didn't help me as much as they could have, but, you know.
All right.
Crazy fight.
Crazy fight indeed, but there's just, one thing left to do, Liam, and that is to hold this dumpster high. There it is yours. Yes, oh my goodness, this was an incredible tournament, Kyle. Don't you agree?
Yeah, agree 1,000%, Sam. We have seen some amazing fights. We've crowned 3 brand new champions. We are ready to go for the World Championships next month. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to see all of you.
Come on, everybody. We need some friends behind us up here because we are so stoked for the December championship. Coming up in just about a month, we will be back here on December 6th.
So excited, can't wait to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you at the World Championships where we will crown 3 new Golden Brett winners. And everybody, have a good night. Thank you so much.